midway goal line and halfway at that northern end. Played by Burns. Now Cotter receives. Gives it on to Neem, and Griffin Neem's going to be put down 15 from the halfway line. Middle of the park. Plays the ball to Marnie. Given on to Dearden, who puts his right boot to it. High, deep kick from Tom Dearden. Good gain on that. Kinney takes it about 7 or 8 from his own line. Keanu Kinney, the fullback for the Titans. He gets past Cotter before being tackled just beyond the 20 by the second wave of kick chase led by Lukey. And there's still a lot of Titans players slow to get back on side here. They've had to do a lot of defending early. One out run from Sami to the 30. And now a little dance and jive from Max Finney. He stopped 8 from halfway, 15 in from the western touchline. Played to Verrills, given on to Furmore, and down the middle third goes Bo Furmore. He's a couple of metres inside Titans territory when tackled. 13 minutes played. North Queensland leads 6-0. It's NRL Sunday on ABC Sport as the Titans now get into the attacking half. Oh, that's a very late weird offload from Adam Maho. Why did he do that? And in trying to clean up the mess, it's been knocked on by the Titans. That was so long. I'm surprised he was allowed to get that offload away. And then Chris Randall had his back turned. I don't think he knocked it on. It was
Clifford's knocked it on.
Clifford was almost challenging for the ball. The pass was that bad.
Yeah.
And he knocked it on. So a good turn of fortune for the Titans for what was a messy piece of play. G'day to Froggy from Thurul. Great to hear your call during troubled times. Did you say another new grandchild? Yep. Yeah, for Laurie. Froggy says, I held my first grandchild, little baby Harper, as she turned 24 hours on Remembrance Day last year. Her little hand wrapped around my half of my index finger. Good on you, Froggy. Yep. Our thoughts are with Ash, one of our team members with her baby girl, and of course Dad Laurie here today. Titans have got it on the attack. Furmore plays it 40 out. Now Fodawaker rolls down the middle third. Can the Titans get to close enough to threaten the Cowboys line for the first time? Played by Fodawaker to Verrills. Given right side. All right to Campbell, who steps past Neem. Steps past Drinkwater. Welcome back, JC. He dances and moves like few other in the game. That's what they've missed. And Jaden Campbell is the alchemist of rugby league. From nothing, 4 points for the Titans.
That was just special. And as you say, it's the thing that the Titans have missed, that difference, that player who can turn the game on its head, and he certainly did that. There was nothing there. There was nothing to show other than his footwork, the cleverness of his identifying, perhaps a little bit extra space between players, perhaps an opportunity with big front rower getting towards his turnover time in Griffin Neem, and he just stepped inside Griffin Neem. A-spots were a little bit wider than you'd expect, and then the fullback in Drinkwater caught on his heels, couldn't adjust when Campbell threw the right foot step. Wonderful try there to Jaden Campbell.
Oh, weave left, weave right. Laurie Spinner, he gets through the S's quicker than Oscar Piastri, Jaden Campbell.
How important it is
to get out of the tunnel.
How important it is to have a play like that in your team. You know, the big forwards are tired. You've seen a slow big forward there, acceleration step, and look at that, 6 points for the Titans.
Just like Oscar, Jaden hasn't got to the grid for the first two events of the season. Campbell converts his own try.
He did make it out this time. And poor old Oscar got parked up again.
Yep, so Jaden Campbell converts, and it's 6-all in Townsville after 16 minutes. Quentin Hull, Grant Bell and Laurie Spina with you for NRL Sunday on
He made that look easy watching it and replay.
Just the way he doesn't,
so comfortable.
He doesn't decelerate changing direction. That's the special skill about Jaden Campbell. He just has an unbelievable way that he weaves his hips through defenders.
Yeah.
So missed the first couple of games with a hamstring injury, and now back out there. Earlier today, St George Illawarra beaten by Parramatta at Western Sydney Stadium. Eels winning that one 30 points to 20. Joy from Ipswich. Text go Cowboys 0467 920 222. As kick-off right to the goal line, caught by Bremson, given to Fodawaker, and he's tackled by Neiman, Taulolo and Cotter. That's one hell of a reception trio. They're pushing back a metre or two, and then Fodawaker makes a mistake trying to play the ball. Knock on. scrum Cowboys right on the attack.
Just they've got themselves back into a roll. They've had a chance to have a rest. This is the time when you need your big fellas to be finding themselves ready for the next carry. They've got a chance through the kick, and just a poor carry from him. A poor carry onto the ground. It was good contact from Griff Neem, but poor carry.
Where's Palomalawa? Does anyone know where Palomalawa is? Janelle text, come on Cowboys, lasso the Titans, time for you to win. Janelle from Palomalawa. Thank you, Janelle. 0467 920 222. Cowboys win the scrum out on the right. Direct it left. Not much doing there for Drinkwater, who has to stop and then eventually take the tackle. About 12 metres from the Titans line, slightly left of centre. Play to Marnie. Give it to Cotter, who missed last week with his wife Mackenzie having another bout of heart surgery. Hope you're okay, Mackenzie, if you're listening. Ruben's out there. He's tackled a couple of metres short. Play to Marnie. Given right for Neem. Griffin Neem, a one-out run. Two defenders drag him down. Five to the right of the uprights. 3 metres from the goal line. Cowboys hot on the press. 6-all the scoreline. To the left. Drinkwater's out there. He's been busy early. Stepping left and right. He's caught. He offloads though to Clifford. He has a dummy and straightens but runs into Fa'asua Mala'awi. Tino there to make the tackle and put him down 5 metres out. Marnie goes open right to Drinkwater in centre field. Now through the hands to Dearden at the line. Second man. Oh, great defensive read. Coming off the wing there from Phil Sami to get in the face there of Chester and put him down. Last play. Marnie tries to create something. Doesn't create much. Loses the ball. Picked up by the Titans. Gold Coast survive. It's jumped on by Randall, and they'll get a piggyback as well with the Cowboys offside. Penalty North Queensland. Just what they needed down to Laurie Spina on the touchline.
Yeah, the start of the year, the end of the sets of 6 haven't been really good for the Cowboys. They really have to work on that. They really got to put it in goal, but it was a nothing kick really then.
Now apparently Pally's near Wagga. I hope no one's having a lend of me here.
I was going to say being a Wagga
person, and I didn't know that, but there you go. There are lots of small farming communities that have unique names, so there you go. See,
I should Google it.
every day you get up's a day you learn something, Grant, as the Titans kicked to halfway off that
They
penalty.
kicked you out of town early though.
Yeah, Fa'asua Mala'awi to the 40, now to the left. Brimson gives a pass on to Kinney, who bounces away from one. Gets tackled, passes back to Brimson in the middle of the field, but he's put down by Tamalolo. 30 metres from the Cowboys line. Titans in possession. Verrills to the left for Kinney. His pass is no good for Fermor though. Knocked on. Fermor's now saying, hold on, challenge this call. The referee said it's a knock on Titans,
Yeah,
but
I don't think so.
he thought it hit a Cowboy before it hit him. Captain's challenge.
Captain's challenge here for the Titans, challenging the on-field decision of a knock-on.
It's good pressure from Chester.
And now I'm getting a text saying it's 25 clicks northeast of Moree, and Moree's a long way away from Wagga.
Well, attempting to make a tackle, the Cowboy player touches the
Yeah,
ball.
it does hit
Ball is
Tom
knocked forward
Chester's left
into
arm.
the Titans player.
There you go. Tommy Chester quick off the line. Ball's come off his arm.
Zane Bojak's
knock
in
on
the studio
Cowboys.
for us today, and he's just sent a little whisper. Yeah, it's more near Moree. So I'll feel a bit better that I didn't know that. What was it? Palomalawa. Fighting grounds east side of the Guida Highway, outside of Moree. Oh, now it's the person has texted and said, whoops, I'm wrong, my bad. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. I can keep my 2650 badge.
Broncos Titans then gain possession. The captain's challenge will be successful.
Yeah, so that hit a Cowboy first, and the Titans will stay on the attack. At 6-all here, Murray Taulungi scoring the opening try for the Cowboys, answered by Jaden Campbell.
Well, this is a great chance for the Titans here, Quentin. Real opportunity for them. They've got their numbers well and truly spread to the right-hand edge.
Yeah, played about 15 in from the left. One man to the centre for the settling run of Fa'asua Mala'awi. Tino loses it. There were 3 in the tackle, and he doesn't make a challenge. He's just dropped it. So first play, the Titans cough it up, and it's their captain, Cardinal Sin, and the Titans now have to defend as it's taken by Burns up to the 40-metre line. So a drop ball from Tino. It's hot and humid, but that's a bad mistake as Chester takes the Cowboys almost to halfway. 6-all in Townsville. Ball played to Marnie. Given through Tamalolo to Cotter, who hits and spins but can't get through with Tamaho, who makes the tackle. Now Marnie out of dummy half, gives it on to Tamalolo, who's had a really big start. Took a couple in the tackle offloads. Marnie gives it on to Neem to the right edge for Lukey, who's driven into the deck by the tackle of Fearnight. Cowboys 28 metres out in the right, back to left and centre field for Dearden, runs laterally, pass from Clifford, quick hands, out to the edge from McIntyre, he slips over and gets tackled. Sam McIntyre, last play Cowboys, 22 out blindside, Drinkwater, intercept, one-handed intercept from Jaden Campbell, he's got 80 metres to run, he'll beat you with a step and weave, and he'll pick your pocket as well. What a player! How good to have Jaden Campbell back in the NRL. Two individual pieces of brilliance and the Titans lead. Oh. He just produces pieces of magic, Jaden Campbell. From defence into attack. And the Gold Coast Titans lead 10-6 with a kick to come.
Yeah, and the Cowboys, they play this sweeping or swinging sort of attack line where they line up, they don't get to their edge so quickly, and they swing and they sweep across. But on this occasion, they've pushed themselves quite flat, and it was a pass that came across there, and Jaden Campbell was just sweating all over it, took the opportunity to it, and as you say, he just picked the pocket. He was ahead of the line, so were the ball not to have got to him, there was space either side of him, so he really took a risk. He left the opportunity for them outside, but he took the chance, and he wasn't too worried about trying to square it up because he's going to back his own goal kicking abilities, is he?
Yeah, I think he was a bit knackered by the time he got to the line, Laurie. There was people chasing him, but he didn't improve the angle much. He's right out in the touchline.
I don't know if Gold Coast is 10, but Jaden Campbell's 10, and what a player. Lachlan Ilias was playing well, but yeah, Josh Hannay had to bring him back because what he brings to the team.
From out on the right, Jaden Campbell misses across the face, so he should have run around a little bit.
Should have improved his area.
Gold Coast 10, North Queensland 6.
Great to see him back, Laurie, and as a halfback, not out of a dissimilar ilk. You could run, you could spot space, and you had great leg speed.
Thanks, Grant. But I tell you what, he's...
That's true. I'm giving you a rap. I'm not taking it on that occasion.
No, he certainly adds something to this Gold Coast Titans team. You know, they had nothing going. He scored that brilliant try early, and he took that intercept. He really covered it well, sort of. Yeah, Drinkwater shouldn't have passed it, but yeah, he judged it well, and yeah, he's been so valuable today for him.
I think he overplayed what he thought he saw there, Drinkwater, because you know, when you look at it, yes, it's easy in hindsight, but Campbell was sitting forward of the line and sitting in the passing lane.
Clifford with the kick-off for the Cowboys, and it'll come down 5 metres from the goal line, taken by Brimson, given to Fodawago, drops it again! He has stuffed it up 2 times in a row, first play off the kick-off. My word. Mo is having an absolute no-show.
I tell you what, off times, it's the backs who make those early errors and the forwards give them the glare and say, hey.
The ball that time, he dropped the ball.
And Tino dropped that early one for Josh Hannay. He'd be going great.
Both times it was interesting. The Cowboys, and maybe it's something they've rehearsed, pulled at the ball.
Centre field scrum, and Dearden goes right. He receives, gives to Drinkwater. He's got Titans defence in front of him. That was well read. Brimson eventually makes the tackle with some help from Fearnight. So
just say pulled at the arm, carrying the ball.
Marnie, one man infield to Lukey. Lukey takes the tackle. Cowboys only 8 metres out, and another reset coming up. There's the ping. Tamalolo charges to the black dot. 3-stop big JT in the shadows of the H pole at the southern end. It's Marnie himself out of dummy half, runs into the markers and gets close. He's held up. Tino was there.
I'm glad to see that from Marnie, though, Quentin, because it starts to open up opportunities for his halves when he's being a threat.
So Marnie back to the 10, plays the ball. Tamalolo's a distributor, gives it to Neem, who just has another bore at the line. 3 men there to stop him near the padding of the post. About 3 metres out, Marnie passes left through Cotter, gives it on to Dearden. Double cut out to the edge. Purdue's ball and Taulungi looks forward. Taulungi goes in the corner anyway. And the ref ref's going to point to the spot, and it doesn't matter how forward it looks on the replay if that indeed is the case. They can't pull it back. That's a second try to Murray Taulagi. And it's the Titans and the Cowboys now locked at 10 in Townsville.
Yeah, and it did look forward, and we're pretty much in line with it here. But, again, it was off the error. They were fortunate probably on the last time that Jaden Campbell got in that passing lane and took off with it. But Mo Fotuaika, I think he's going to want to find a little corner to hide in the dressing room, because his coach won't be happy with turning that over and giving them the opportunity. And it really was good width in their passing. They're getting good width. That was forward. Just watching the replay there. Touch judge should have been all over that. But in saying that, it's a try to the Cowboys. Murray Taulagi with his second try. He does know his way to the corner. I want to pick up on something too, the way they defended Taulagi, and certainly Kinney, I think both times has just tried to body charge him rather than perhaps playing at the football, playing to cover and wrap up. He certainly didn't do much that was going to cease the progression to the try line, Laurie.
Yeah, Marnie came in quickly there, hit Purdue with everything he got. He was a little bit slow to get up, but he gave that flat ball away, and Taulagi's got a good try.
Flat ball, was it,
Yeah,
Laurie?
I'll say it's flat.
The local flat ball.
Yeah, we'll have to get him to put air in it at half time.
So the Cowboys perhaps getting away with one there. Nonetheless, a double for Murray Taulagi, already 4 tries for the season. Clifford's had a sighter from here. He kicked it, and he's missed that one, though. Jay Clifford from hard out on the left. Cowboys 10, Titans 10, and we've got 15 minutes left in this first half in Townsville. You're listening to NRL Sunday on ABC Sport with Quentin Hull, Grant Bell and Laurie Spina. Heels over the Dragons 30 points to 20 earlier today. In the Queensland Cup second half, Hunters 38 lead the Clydesdales 14. In the AFL first quarter, North Melbourne 43 lead West Coast 19. And full time, the Swifts have beaten the Mavericks by 1. New South Wales Swifts 70 over the Melbourne Mavericks 69. Keep your messages coming on 0467 920 222. And I reckon, whenever we're sort of not sure where a place is, and we ask the listeners, they are so helpful getting in touch and telling us where these places are. So Palomalawa, everyone, they're having their moment in the sun. Neil says if you're ever there, you have to sample the food at the famous Pally Pub. So there you go.
There we go.
A couple of plays off the kick-off.
Big
Lodge is out there.
Yeah, Big Matty Lodge has just gone on.
First time at home as a Cowboy. Now forward goes Hess. So a couple of those bench forwards, we can say that Hess is playing. We can say that Lodge is playing.
Meters.
Yeah, down the middle third goes Cotter, and the Cowboys get into attacking territory, and that's 5. End of the set off the kickoff. They're only 40 metres from the Titans line. Drinkwater will bomb at the end of the set. From 40 metres out, it's high and deep, and 2 Titans almost collide. I thought that was caught in the full by Kinney in the in-goal area. Then he gets a high tackle anyway from Cohen Hess. So the referee didn't go out to the 20 for a 7-tackle set.
Yeah, and be interesting whether he had his foot down or not. But yeah, it looked from where we are that he was in the in goal area.
So we can say that Lodge is playing and Hess is playing. These days, Grant, I know it's your first time at the footy for NRL 2026. You've got to mark off now of the 6 who get to go.
Who gets to go.
Exactly. So I haven't sort of seen who's out there for the Titans as yet, but Laurie will help us out. Titans have got the ball. Well, Cleese Haas is one of them because there he is carrying the football. Up to the 30. Cleese Haas with it. 14 minutes to the break. It's 10 all between the Cowboys and the Titans. And now left edge, the Titans up towards the 40-metre line inside their own half. And that's another one of those out there. That's Kurt Moran on the field. So he's playing too. Infield on the run there, Phil Sami. Sami is stopped. 5 in from the touchline, 5 from halfway left edge. 1 man infield. Furmore pops a pass. Nice tackle from Marnie, though, to get around the ankles there of Randall and cut him down at the end of the set. The second last play, should I say. Now, bomb from Brimson at the end of the set has left that and caught on the defensive right edge by the Cowboys. Nice lip and take there from Drinkwater. North Queensland start this 15 from their own line. Chester passes to centre field. Into the hands there of Taulagi. The 2 try scorers stopped just beyond the 20. Murray or is it? Yeah, that's Taulungi. He's lost that thigh guard now. He was out there with a big thigh strapping earlier on. Murray Taulungi.
Warm-up, he did.
Yeah, so he hasn't got that with him as well. So a bit of change of gear in the running of the race, so to speak. Lodge with the ball, stopped and plays it. 10 from halfway. Marnie out of dummy half is kicking deep. There's no one there. Kinney has to scurry all the way into the in goal to get it. He has. He runs into the field of play, Keanu Kinney, and is tackled by Dearden. Great kick chase from the Cowboys skipper. Titans start this set 6 metres from their own line. 12.5 to the break. 2 tries each, 10 points apiece here on NRL Sunday on ABC Sport.
Cooper Boy's just gone on there, Q.
So there's another one. Thank you. First time that I'm seeing young Cooper Boy in the flesh. Just his 4th game of the NRL, and such a boom youngster as here goes Jojo Fafita. Good run for the Titans down the middle third. Midway goal line and halfway when stopped. One man to the left, and Kinney receives and charges forward into the tackle of Lukey and Marnie. That Cowboys combo puts him down. 8 inside Titans territory. Last play for Gold Coast. Jaden Campbell from the 40 in his own half, kicks downfield. It flirts with the left touchline, caught by Taulungi. 20 from his own line. Kick return gains 7 or 8 upfield. He's tackled 10 in from touch on the left, just short of the 30. Plays the ball to Clifford. Gives it on there to Purdue. Jackson Purdue tackled. 20 in from touch on the left, and 31 metres from that open-ended northern end here, the JT statue end at this stadium, which needs the breeze today. Drinkwater, line break, over halfway, full back in front of him, steps in. Has he got the gas? He's running out of juice. He's got the speed bubbles when he gets there. Scott Drinkwater, a solo 60-metre scoop, and the line break, and the weave, and the stumble, and the score for the Cowboys to return to the lead. 14-10 kick to come.
Yeah, well, not dissimilar to the first try that we saw from Jaden Campbell. We see Drinkwater just spotting the A defenders, the middle defenders moving a little wider, and he caught one of the players who should have been feeling a little bit fresher in Haas, a little bit wide in the middle there. His weave was swerved inside of him and found himself in space, and from that there was not a lot left, and he really did to Kinney what Campbell did to him when he gaps through the middle there as well. And both teams showing a little bit of fatigue. Perhaps it's hotter than the temperatures, etc., indicating. There's no 20-minute water breaks here, but certainly that space through the middle, a challenge for both sides in this game so far.
Yeah, that injury he had a couple of weeks. If people haven't had one, rib cartilage is really painful, and you can see he was hampered. He's a little bit freer today, and boy, when he's on fire, the Cowboys really need him. What a beautiful individual try. Step, acceleration, the Cowboys needed that.
Well, he's been under the microscope a bit from the media. Both the local papers, the media have all said to him he needs to lift his game, injury or not, and he's clearly responding in that regard.
Point blank range for the conversion attempt of Jake Clifford. Right in front, 10 metres out, strikes with his right boot, kicks it into the second tier of the southern stand, through the uprights. North Queensland 16, lead Gold Coast 10 here on NRL Sunday on ABC Sport. Around the grounds, full time in that Queensland Cup game. The Hunters have beaten the Clydesdales, PNG 38 to the Clydesdales 14. North Melbourne 43, lead West Coast 19 in the AFL second quarter. 0467 920 222. Way to get in touch. Thanks to Neil. Yeah, it's great that we're here up in Townsville. It doesn't feel as oppressive, but yeah, and I think there's been a bit of rain, hasn't there, Grant? It looks like the pitch is sort of pretty soft underfoot.
And it can do with, of course, the creek behind the field here.
It's not a good 4. It's closer to a soft 6 or 7, I think, out there at the moment. See, a couple of times changing direction. The studs are getting into the turf. Second carry off the kickoff. Cowboys with it. Pass to the 20.
Caden Lards is on there, Q.
Yep, so he's another one. And there he is running into the defensive line. Caden Lards just beyond the 30. Thanks, Laurie. Laurie Spina down on the touchline. As now Clifford out of dummy half blind side. Taken 20 in from the touchline out the left by Campbell. 8 sort of halfway. Cowboys to the right now as Dearden gives it on to Lodge. And Matt Lodge stands. There's a couple around him, and he's ordered to play the football by referee Goff right in the middle of the park. Last play for the Cowboys, and Dearden bombs deep at the end of the set. Kinney sets himself, takes it comfortably, 8 from the Titans line. Runs back at the defenders, can't get to the 20. Cut down about 18 metres from the line. He's defending by the chase of Hess.
Great chase for a big player. Get him down there, and that's one of these Cohen Hess does. He'll bring himself into the contest and really look to put pressure on the opposition.
Sami had a run, and now Fafita to the 30. Pass to the right. There's Cooper Bye in that lime green headgear. Of course, there was the thought that there was rugby awaiting, or perhaps going to his dad's club at the Storm. And now down the middle third, Cooper Bye. That's a gain of 15. Good carry. Last play, Titans 45 out. Brimson decides to put his left boot to it. A deep wobbling kick, which is tracked and caught by Burns on the goal line for the Cowboys at that northern end. Runs back into the defence and takes the tackle. Good tackle there from Campbell, solidly into him, just short of the 20. Clifford's a distributor. Gives it on to Tao Lungi, taken down by Moran, just short of the 30. Quick play the ball. Drinkwater at distributor, pops it up for Purdue. And there's a bit of that dirt coming up as he steps off his left. Eventually tackled 10 from halfway, and another set, reset. Wavy fisty from Peter Goff on an infringement from the Titans. Lodge to halfway. Now make it was Hess previous, now Lodge. Lodge forward and stopped 38 metres from the Titans line. Cowboys leading at 16-10 to the left. It's popped up to McIntyre on that edge, fending away from tacklers before eventually being grabbed by the ankles and put down by Campbell. Ball played to Marnie, pass to right in centre field for Clifford. Runs laterally, gives it to the right. Dearden feeds the inside line of Chester. Chester brought down around the ankles. Great tackle there by Haas. Quick play the ball. Marnie to Drinkwater, trying to charge through. And he's tackled a couple of metres out now. Marnie feeds it to the left. Clifford chips for Tao Lungi's wing. He's up. He can't catch it. I think he's knocked it on into the in-goal area for Purdue. Purdue has put the ball down. Referee was close. Referee says he's going to say try.
The touch judge indicated that it was off Titans player.
And Jackson Purdue scores. North Queensland extend its lead. 20 points to 10 with a kick to come. Well, I had the binoculars up on that. I thought maybe Mary Taulungi got his hands on that. And, well, they always get looked at, but the referee was close and he gave it on field. Laurie Spooner on the touchline.
At first I thought that, but it looks like the Titans' hand came up and did push it back. Slow motion will tell, but yeah, Purdue on the spot. Important try for the Cowboys. Yeah, the big forwards are really changing angles, Grant, and really making some yardage up the middle for them.
Yeah, and the speed of the play the ball from the Cowboys is starting to create the momentum, and that's widening what's happening in around the ruck.
Try confirm.
Space, and certainly it was just knocked back by the Titans players and bounced up comfortably. Purdue won't score much easier try than that one, and puts the Cowboys in a very good position with only 5.5 minutes to go to half time. Shot a goal, pretty comfortable for Clifford, leading 20 points to 10, Quentin.
So the second try of the season for Jackson Purdue.
And I've been told, sorry boys, that by a good source that he's going to stay at the Cowboys, a 4-year contract, young Jackson Purdue.
There was some press about it today. Wonder where he'll play the most of his football, which position? That's one of the questions. As Clifford, who's right in front here, will make it just slightly left of the uprights to be precise. So minimal angle, and he kicks the conversion. Clifford has 3 from 4, and the Cowboys have scored the last 3 tries in the game after the Titans led 10-6. It's Cowboys 22, Titans 10 with 5 minutes and 16 seconds left in the half. And like this text from Mark in the ACT, he texts, bye, Lars, Campbell. I don't need this age reality check on a Sunday afternoon. Son of Marcus, son of Leroy, and son, of course, of Presto, all out there. By Lars and Campbell. Yeah, Caden Lars. there was another name in Leroy's first name. I'm sorry.
Leroy Lyles.
Tom Leroy. Yes, that's it. Thank you. First hit up off the restart. He was. There he is on cue. Caden Lars. He's tackled just beyond the 10. Now lodged up to the 20. Cowboys with the football at the northern end, getting close to halftime. McIntyre almost dropped it. He needed his legs to help control that pass. Must be pretty slippery out there. Anyway, held onto it, gets tackled. Now Drinkwater one man infield. No great creativity there. Drinkwater to play for the Cowboys on his own 30. Marnie one-handed pick up a dummy half. Gives it on to Taulungi. He's doing a fair bit of work. A couple in from that left wing.
Yeah, gee, they're making some metres as well.
Plays it to Marnie. Passes right in centre field, end of set for Clifford from just inside his own half. That's a high, deep kick. Defensive right corner for the for the Titans. It's taken by Kinney. Puts on that little stutter step before being tackled just beyond the 20. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. 4 hours. Not quite.
You've been travelling too much, Clint.
Yeah, yes. It's a couple of flights
Same
already
time zone,
today. Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I've changed the time zone today. Mind you, there's never been a rugby league game with 4 hours on the clock. That was just me having a moment. Set restart. Titans 10 from halfway on to play the ball from Sami. Now Moran gives it on to Bai. Cooper Bai with 3 around him. Put to turf, the 19-year-old in just his 4th game. He's a couple of metres inside Titans territory. Played to Verrills, given left. Brimson's ball is juggled and lost by Fermor. Taken by the Cowboys. Hess gives it to the infield run of Chester, who ran an obstruction line and has to give up and surrender, and he does. But once again, the handling of the Titans. Have you got some stats for me, Billy?
Well, I was just having a look, and I disagreed with some of the stats because they said there'd only been 4 restarts around ruck infringements for the Titans. Now, I've counted well more than that.
Up to the 30 on the carry there of Burns, and now Lodge rolls down the middle third. Cowboys on the attack again. He got an offload away to Marnie. Keeps it going to the right. Dearden over the 20. Grubber for the in-goal area. And, it's a clean air swing from Finn. He had a left-handed swing to try and bat it dead. And eventually it has gone over the dead ball line with a couple of Cowboys close as well. That's a goal line dropout. And without being disrespectful, it is early in the season, but certainly from it looks like 2 teams that haven't won a game yet.
Well, it's got 4 errors.
Raising eyebrows doesn't work for radio, Billy.
Yeah, it's not a visual.
Campbell with the dropout, goes deep. 45 on the fly, caught by Clifford and given to young Lars, who's going to run back at them. And he's smashed.
Shot.
Yeah, around the rib cage there. Put to deck by Tukey Simpkins, who's out there, I think. Yeah, so he's one of the others. Is it Simpkins? No, it wasn't. It was Peter. Yeah. Lodged to the 30 on the next run. Now Dearden. He's on the right edge. Feeds it to the infield run of Tom Chester, who's tackled. Cowboys on the attack. 15 out. They lead 22 to 10. 2 minutes to the break. Left edge exploration. Clifford almost kicked it. He kicked it the ground before kicking the ball with a grubber. Rolled about 2 metres off his toe. And it's jumped on by the Titans, but there was a knock on. And the Cowboys will get another go.
Are they questioning whether they're going to go upstairs for this?
Or did he drop it?
No,
or did he kick it?
It's a knock on.
He said it hit the ground before he kicked it.
So, these days they don't allow for drop-kicked grubbers, do they?
No.
I think he got his toe to it. Yeah. We're just seeing a replay. They didn't challenge anyway. That's a let-off for the Titans. And they need that with only about 70 seconds to the break. Trying not to concede again. Titans take and win the scrum feed. And they've got it through Sami up to the 20. Now we're out of dummy half, a little dummy, and scoot from Max Fianai. Nice run. A couple of post-contact meters to get to the 30. Quick play the ball. If the Titans got something left in this half as Brimson's roaming in midfield. Stopped eventually by a couple of Cowboys defenders. 80's own side of halfway. North Queensland lead the game 22 to 10. NRL Sunday on ABC Sport. And still the Cowboys defending well here inside their own half, the Titans on the run from a tomahawk. Now to the left, Campbell through Brimson. Gives it on to Kinney. Got tackled but flipped it back to Brimson. Puts on the Jets. Beats one but can't beat the cover defence there. Nice tackle made by Lars. Last play, Titans 35 out. Campbell puts up a deep kick. It'll come down 10 metres out. Taulagi leaps well and catches safely for the Cowboys. And he takes the tackle 15 from his own line. And are now in the last 20 seconds of this first half. Purdue going a little blindside scoot. But he's reeled in one-on-one out there by Jojo Fafita. Purdue plays it to Taulagi. Sort of almost like a rugby scrum half pass off the back of a ruck there. Passing it infield to Drinkwater, who gets tackled. And that'll be the last play of the first half in Townsville. 40 minutes left in round 3. And two winless teams desperate to get on the board in 2026. And it's the locals, North Queensland, who have had the better of the opening 40 minutes here, scoring 4 tries to 2. North Queensland lead Gold Coast by 22 points to 10 at half-time. First try scored by Taulagi on 7 minutes. And then the Titans scored back-to-back tries. A couple of bits of individual brilliance from Jaden Campbell. One a weaving run, one an 80-metre intercept. And the Titans got to a 10-6 lead before Taulagi scored his second on 24 minutes. Drinkwater scored on the half hour and Purdue about 6 minutes before the break. Cowboys 22, Titans 10. Half-time in Townsville, Grant Bell.
Yeah, it's certainly been an interesting half. You made the point before about my eyebrows lifting, but yeah, both sides guilty of not controlling the ball as well as they could, not presenting with their best options when they get within striking distance of the opposition try line, and certainly of some defensive weaknesses in around the ruck, and both being beaten at times by plays with a change of angle, plays where the forwards are working up and finding themselves in one-on-one plays with quick play the ball to follow on. It's certainly something that's a challenge. The referee, they're having a talk to Tino as they go into the shed, or the other way around. I've been concerned a little bit about some of the Titans forwards just being tight enough. I think that early period where they didn't have much football has continued to play a part in their exhaustion, in their levels of intensity. But I'm certain Mo Fodawaker will not want to present himself anywhere near the coach at half-time, because 2 lost balls on play 1 from the kick-off, just not good enough. But when you have a look at the metres run, there's the most run metres is nearly 50 metres by Beau Fermor in the forwards, and Kenny in the backs with 91. And whereas Drinkwater's up at 170, Murray Taulagi at 98, and then in the forwards, Jace Taumalolo at 70. They're winning that metres, and it's really indicative when you look at the way they're pushed down the field.
Before we get to the news, Laurie Spooner, a thought or two on the touchline. It's Cowboys 22, Gold Coast 10.
Yeah, the facts are it's not the best game of the round, I can tell you that, but yeah.
The master of the understatement, Laurie Spooner, ladies and gentlemen.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, Jaden Campbell has done some magnificent things. Yeah, Josh Hannah would be disappointed with the forwards of the Titans, the errors they're making, missed tackles. I know it's very humid and hot for them, but they're trying things. But yeah, Jaden Campbell is keeping them in the game just. And on the other side, the Cowboys, the last 20 minutes especially, probably their forwards are making some yardage. I'm impressed, and Scott Drinkwater looks fitter this week, and he's doing some stuff out wide. And yeah, at this stage, the Cowboys look just on top.
Good on you, Laurie. 4 tries to 2 for North Queensland in the first half. Cowboys 22, Titans 10. Earlier today, Parramatta too good for St George Illawarra. Talon De Silva got the 3 votes from Luke Lewis as the Eels defeated the Dragons 30 points to 20. Let's go around the grounds in the AFL second quarter. North Melbourne 8-1-49 lead West Coast 6-2-38. Big win for Port over Essendon earlier today. And what else? At the moment, we've got first half of the A-League game has just got underway between Perth and Melbourne City. Perth Glory and Melbourne City yet to score. It gives us a chance. I'll run you through those lower grade scores of the day. New South Wales Cup, Dragons 38, Eels 8, Panthers 38, Roosters 12. Jersey Flag, Panthers beat the Roosters 28-26. 4 games in the Queensland Cup today. A draw between Norths and Souths, 24 all. Ipswich 48 beat Brisbane Tigers 6. Redcliffe 36 over Wynnum Manly 16, and the Hunters 38 over the Clydesdales 14. 2 completed games in the A-League Women today. Canberra beat Adelaide 3-2. Melbourne City beat Western Sydney 2-1. In the A-League Men, Jets away to Sydney FC. Win for the Jets, 2-1. That'll please my sideline eye from yesterday. Bridget Murphy, she was making a trip from Newcastle to Sydney specifically to see that game. So, Bridge, if you're driving home or listening, you'll be happy. 2-1 to the Jets. Adelaide, AFL earlier today, Port won by 63 over Essendon. And the Super Netball results, Melbourne Vixens 68-52 winners over the Giants, and the Melbourne Mavericks beaten by the Swifts 70-69. There you go, up to date. By the way, Hannah Green won the Australian Women's PGA as well, so she's completed 3 wins in a row, one on the LPGA Tour, won the Australian Open and the WPGA. Good on Hannah Green at Sanctuary Cove. Here, Cowboys 22, Titans 10, half-time. More from Townsville after the news.
ABC News with David Rollins. Pauline Hanson's One Nation Party has won its first ever lower house seat at an election outside of Queensland. The Deputy Mayor of the Adelaide Plains Council, David Patton, is set to become the One Nation member for Najuri in South Australia's Parliament, according to ABC projections. On the latest count, One Nation has a first preference lead of 5.6 percentage points over Labor candidate Tony Piccolo, and the Liberal Party recommended voters preference One Nation over the Labor Party. One Nation is in contention in several other electorates as well. SA Labor has won at least 32 seats in the 47-member House of Assembly, while the Liberal Party is currently on 4. 9 seats remain in doubt. US President Donald Trump is threatening to unleash destruction on Iranian power infrastructure as the US-Israeli war on Iran shows no sign of ending. Larry Buttrose has the latest.
As global oil prices soar, pressure is building on Mr. Trump over Iran's attacks that have strangled shipping movements in the vital Strait of Hormuz. Now he's issued an ultimatum. Writing on his Truth Social site, he's given Iran 48 hours to fully reopen the strait or face attacks on its electricity generation system. He threatens the US will obliterate Iranian power plants, starting with the biggest one, if it doesn't accede to his demand. In response, Iran says it'll strike all energy infrastructure in the Gulf belonging to the United States if its energy system comes under attack.
The International Nuclear Watchdog has called for restraint as Iran and Israel trade strikes on nuclear facilities. Eliza Getzi has the details.
Last night, Iran claimed its nuclear facility at Natanz was targeted by a US-Israeli air attack. It came as explosions were also heard in Tehran and other parts of the country. The International Atomic Energy Agency called for calm and said no radioactive leakage was reported at the complex, which is primarily used for enriching uranium. But in retaliation, Iran has struck 2 areas in southern Israel, near the country's main nuclear research centre, near the towns of Dimona and Arad. It's widely believed to house Israel's nuclear weapons. Rescue workers say more than 30 people have been injured. The IAEA again says it's detected no abnormal radiation levels and it's monitoring the situation.
Northern Territory Police say residents of Numbulwar will be returned home soon after the southeast Arnhem Land community was evacuated due to ex-tropical cyclone Narelle. Around 500 people from the Numbulwar were flown to Darwin on Friday before the cyclone made landfall in the NT this morning as a Category 3 system and have been sheltering at a Darwin high school. NT Police Commissioner Martin Dole says despite some power outages, police have not detected any major infrastructure damage from the cyclone.
All going well, the 500 residents of Numbulwar will be transported home in the very near future. It was pleasing to see that people who needed to made their way to shelters in the path of the cyclone overnight.
Crews are repairing train tracks between Sydney and Melbourne after hundreds of passengers were diverted to coaches earlier today. Heavy rain damaged the tracks on the line in southern New South Wales. Transport for New South Wales says there have been 2 cancelled services today, one in each direction, impacting more than 500 passengers. It's understood the repairs should be complete today, but additional coaches may still need to be arranged to meet the needs of all passengers. Officials in Hawaii are warning a 120-year-old dam could fail as the US island state is hit by its worst flooding in more than 2 decades. Authorities are urging people in hard-hit areas to evacuate after heavy rain fell on soil already saturated by downpours from a winter storm a week ago, with more expected in the coming day. Raging waters lifted homes and cars and prompted evacuation orders for thousands of people north of Honolulu, although they were later withdrawn. Muddy floodwaters have smothered vast stretches of Oahu's North Shore, a community world-renowned for its big wave surfing. The Matildas have received a warm reception from fans in Sydney after last night's 1-0 loss to Japan in the Women's Asian Cup soccer final. The Australians dominated the decider, but Japan's defence held on and the visitors secured the championship. A tournament record crowd of 74,000 fans filled Stadium Australia for the match, and midfielder Claire Wheeler says it's heartening to see the support.
We're quite upset to not obviously come away with the win of the Asia Cup, but obviously to be here and to see all the fans and to thank them for an amazing tournament. We've made a lot of history with the attendance, and it's something I'm really thankful for, to be part of this group and be supported the way we are.
A tray of cocktails floated at us through the twilight. Who was this Gatsby fella?
A jazz-soaked reimagining of the Great Gatsby. That's the best thing a girl can be in this world. A beautiful little fool. Search for Gatsby in Harlem on ABC Listen.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
Labert, Lars and Lodge. That's the whistle of Peter Goff, the referee. Liam Kennedy's in the bunker and the final game of round 3 is underway. Burns is going to get to his feet, plays the ball 25 out. Now Tamalolo receives to the left. Clifford through the hands to Drinkwater on the edge. He beats 1, beats 2, gives the pass, and the try is scored by the Cowboys on that left side. Played by Fodawaker to Ferrells. Given right side. All right to Campbell, who steps past Neem. Steps past Drinkwater. Welcome back, JC. He dances and moves like few other in the game. That's what they've missed. Last play, Cowboys, 22 out blindside. Drinkwater. Intercept. One-handed intercept from Jaden Campbell. He's got 80 metres to run. He'll beat you with a step and weave, and he'll pick your pocket as well. What a player! How good to have Jaden Campbell back in the NRL. 2 individual pieces of brilliance and the Titans lead. About 3 metres out, Marnie passes left through Connor, gives it on to Dearden. Double cut out to the edge. Purdue's ball and Taulungi looks forward. Taulungi goes in the corner anyway. And the ref's going to point to the spot, and it doesn't matter how forward it looks on the replay if that indeed is the case. They can't pull it back. That's a second try to Murray Taulungi at this stadium, which needs the breeze today. Drinkwater, line break, over halfway, full back in front of him, steps in. Has he got the gas? He's running out of juice. He's got the speed wobbles, but he gets there. Clifford chips for Taulungi's wing. He's up. He can't catch it. I think he's knocked it on into the in goal area for Purdue. Purdue has put the ball down. Referee was close. Referee says he's going to say try.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Great to have your company in Townsville for the last 40 minutes of football in this round 3 of the 2026 NRL Premiership. My name is Quentin Hull. It's been a bit ragged at times. We've seen some individual brilliance. 2 teams looking to get on the board with their first victory in this season. The 0-2 Cowboys lead the 0-2 Titans. It's 22 points to 10 at half-time. 4 tries to 2 in favour of the locals. Parramatta, too good for St George Illawarra earlier today, 30 points to 20. Loving your messages coming in. The number, if you want to have a shout out, 0467 920 222. And getting some great messages here. There's one about So I needed to shout out to someone's wife. I just can't remember where I put that. Basically saying that she puts up with him listening to the footy. So where was that? I'll see if I can find it. 0467 920 222 is the number to get in touch. Bronson from the Gold Coast, he's saying to my co-commentator Laurie Spinner, no excuses for the Titans. They've been awful. Mo's out of form in a bad way. There's Joshy Paxton there. Give him a run. Well, he's available on the bench, but I think
he's still available.
Yeah, that's the voice of Grant Bell just beside me here. Oh, here it is. It's an unnamed text. If nothing else, please give a shout out to my wife, Belina. Hi, Belina. A Papua New Guinean who I've kept around because she loves rugby league.
No wonder he kept it known.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe you read that out, Quentin.
No, well, that's, it's nice to communicate with our, she's... Well, that's, I don't want to, this is the ABC. We don't create things that aren't there. We just
just
call it as it is. Liz from Coolaman says she's speaking my language. After I was trying to work out where Palomalawa is, she reckons that Palomalawa to Moree is like Coolaman to Wagga. So basically about 30 minutes out of town. That's about right. Yeah. The Pally
And you remember Coolaman and the people of Coolaman, do you?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. Coolaman. 22 points to 10 for the Cowboys. What are we going to get in the second half here, Belly?
Gee, I tell you what, I can't see the intensity lifting from both sides. Both sides look fatigued. I reckon the air's getting a bit heavier out there. The humidity's sort of settling down there. There is a bit of a breeze that's going to be following the Titans in a crossfield. But they really need to step into gear. This first set for them, from a kick-off, no errors, get down the park, get a good kick in, and get themselves thinking about where they're headed with a set of six. The errors and the restarts are a problem for both sides.
Clifford kicks off, caught by Brimson. Titans' first possession of the second half. Cooper Bye is met by 4 defenders. That's a great sign from the Cowboys early there. He's pushed back a couple of metres. So the Titans are now running away from that open end of the stadium. Penalty goes to North Queensland with the Cowboys not square at marker. So Cowboys running to the left of your radio dial, Titans to the right, and as Jaden Campbell's going to kick this downfield. Laurie Spinner's back in position. Early chance to get us your oil from the rooms, Loz.
Yeah, Josh Hannay, everyone knew what he'd say. He was so disappointed about their discipline, especially in the forwards. He said if we can hold the football and go back to our structured play, he gives them a chance, but he was so disgusted. The backs are doing not too bad, but the forward discipline is really poor. And Todd Payton, he was pretty happy. A lot of players spoke, and he's happy. He said, growing confidence, don't make the errors. And I was a bit worried about Murray Talangi. He limped off, but I checked with him, and he's okay.
Yeah, high tackle here. Thank you, Laurie. High tackle here on Keanu Kinney, who's up and okay, but that's a penalty on halfway for the Titans. So as was the case for the Cowboys at the start of the game, where they basically got a couple of infringements to get a free trip to attack. Now it's the Titans' turn. One was now 2 penalties, and Cooper Bye at the start of this Titans possession at the start of the second half, he's tackled only 21 metres from the Cowboys line centre field. Verrills directs it left. Brimson gives it on to Haas. Cleese Haas, good thigh pumping run, and a couple of post contact metres, tackled 15 in from the left and only 10 metres out. Verrills back right and open side to Brimson, gives it to Bye. Bye taken down by the ankles of Lodge. Only 5 out. Quick play the ball. Verrills, and through a man goes Kurt Moran to score his first try as a Titan. That was pretty flimsy from the Cowboys, and gifted possession and territory. The Titans make the most of it for a dream start to the second half. Just what they needed. 22-14, kick to come. It'll be 22-16 with a kick from right in front.
We'll go back to the carry from Haas. I thought they almost would have got a 6 to go there, but he got a quick play the ball, and then young Cooper Bye, he advanced the ball, not a lot of metres, but really well, found his front, quick play the ball, and it just opened up the opportunity for a try through there. And what a good try it was, in under the or alongside the post to Moran off the skill of Verrills.
So Kurt Moran, the former Bulldog, with his first try as a Titan, and
Well, they need to make the first start.
Yeah,
Quentin,
that's what the contest needed.
Back, they needed that, and they needed to get in there. The Cowboys wanted to make that first statement. Sorry, as Jaden Campbell knocks it over comfortably from in front.
So makes it 22 points to 16. And I'll give this to Derek and Ann from Howard in Queensland. They're loyal listeners, and they say, Q, Belly and Loz, we've had a busy few days mowing and tidying up the place. Listening to the footy while we're busy, having a refreshment now. Good on you guys. And another big shout out to our listeners who are just chilling out, hopefully after cleaning up north. Yeah, that's a good moment for Kurt Moran. It'll be a nice little chess piece for Josh Hannay to use as he tries to construct a squad that he wants to hopefully bring greener pastures to the Titans. 22 points to 16 for North Queensland, but an early try there for the Gold Coast. As kick-off is caught by Brimson, given to Haas, and he's tackled about 15 metres from that northern in-goal area. Artificial light starting to take effect on this Sunday in Townsville. One man infield, Sami just beyond the 20, the next carry now by, boy, he's up to the 30. He looks like he belongs. He's 19, first time I've seen him in the flesh, and he just looks impressive.
He's very athletic, and he's got a little adjustment with his feet, which will certainly come from his dad.
Yeah.
But gee, I tell you what, he can get between players, and he's got plenty of courage in work he does.
Moran to halfway, second last play. End of the set, Campbell with the bomb downfield. It's taken comfortably by Taulagi. Cowboys on their 10. He passes infield to Drinkwater. A lateral run from Drinkwater. He feeds the pass and almost put Chester through a hole. But the defence on the left edge there for the Titans is good enough as Fianai makes the tackle. Now infield runs Burns over the 30. And the Cowboys are about 18 from halfway on that run from Braden Burns. Plays the ball there. Dearden's at distributor. Gives it on to Taulagi, who's done a power of work. He's in the middle third. He's pushed back here. Taulagi. 3 and 4 defenders in that tackle. Cowboys 10 their own side of halfway. Marnie has a scoop from dummy half, but the marker gets his ankles. Knocks him down. Good tackle from Verrills. Just on halfway, Taulagi's ball there to Hess almost looked forward. Ref didn't call it. Hess is tackled on 5, 42 metres from the Titans line. Last play for the Cowboys. Drinkwater puts up a bomb. High, deep. It'll come down 10 metres out. Kinney catches it. Evades the first wave of defence, but not the second. Dearden makes the tackle. 10 from the Titans line. Let's get down to Laurie Spender on the touchline. 5 minutes played, second half. North Queensland 22, Gold Coast 16.
Yeah, I think the forwards, Josh Hannay made the call at half time. He wasn't happy with him, and they've come out really strong. A young story about young Cooper Boy. His father actually wanted him to go to Melbourne, but Josh Hannay believed in his coaching and wanted to stay with him, so it was a really good call.
Yeah, Phil Sami's just stepped on off the mark. That's the whistle there from Peter Goff. Titans are on their own 20, trying to work their way upfield. Middle of the park here. Moran, the try scorer, up to the 30. Now Brimson chimes in left edge. A scheming, darting run from Brimson, gains 15 metres before being stopped 5 inside his own half. Last play here for the Titans, and Campbell puts a high, deep kick downfield. Drinkwater well placed, catches at 15 from his own line, trots over the 20. Good defensive line set from the Titans in front of him, and Drinkwater takes the tackle. 20 in from the right and about midway goal line and halfway. Again, Dearden's in there at distributor as Chester runs infield, but runs into Bai, who's in that tackle along with Atamaho. Ball played to Marnie, given to Lodge, 1 out charge. Give him 8 metres on the gain, Matt Lodge. A dozen Cowboys side of halfway. Plays the ball to Marnie. Kicks from inside the 40 out of dummy half. It's a good kick. It's a ball which is caught about 11 metres from the goal line, half a metre from the touchline. Kenny beats 2 on the kick return. Dances around the third. He's up to halfway and 5 inside his own half. In fact, when eventually stopped by Chester, boy, that was almost a 40-20, and then Keanu Kinney weaved past a couple of offenders on the kick return. Furmore to halfway. Titans get into attacking territory. Next carry taken forward by Moran. Centrefield and 40 out as he stopped. Now to the left, Brimson pops it up to Furmore. Runs into the tackle there of Lukey and Dearden, and they stop him. But the Titans are on the attack. 20 in from the left and 30 out from the Cowboys line. Blindside. Verrills to Brimson to Kinney to the edge for Sami. Sami is stopped by Drinkwater. Drinkwater and finished off by Chester. Ball played out in the left, 10 metres out. Back to right in centre field. Brimson chips for the in-goal area, looking for Jojo for Feeder. He flew. He had first purchase, but he's knocked it on. Knocked it on.
Gee, almost had it.
Tackle 6. No try. Confirmed we had the knock-on by the Titans in the contest initially.
That was a good set of 6 from the Titans, so I'll give them a big rap there. And just mixing up what they're doing through the forwards, and I like that. Using plenty of energy through their legs. They look like they found what they needed through the legs, and a good set of 6. Sami did very well across there to make sure he completed himself inside the field.
Decision made.
Yeah, it's a knock-on from Jojo Fafita, who, as you said, Quentin had first chop of the ball, but it was a good contest. Oh, he didn't pick up, Laurie. Who was the Cowboy who contested with him?
No, I missed that.
Crickets. Come on, that's a bit harsh.
Make it up, Laurie.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
Out to the 20 for a 7 tackle set. Sorry, you got something now, Loz?
Yeah, just young Lars is coming off.
Okay, thank you.
Coming off. And
Taulungi's had a big game again, running middle 30s, 8 from halfway.
The contest was Purdue, by the way.
Okay, thank you. Is that a Dorothy Dixon? Cotter tackled 45 out. Marnie had a dummy half. Has a scoot, passes right. Drinkwater through Dearden to the right edge. Chester has to stop and weave in field. Oh, met solidly by Verrills and Fermor. Big tackle.
Him there.
They thought it was high. Yeah, and now the call comes for the touching. And the referee, Peter Goff, says penalty.
I thought they missed one on the Titans down here on the 40-metre line in the last set. It was just crept a bit high from Jake Clifford, I think it was. A second one after his early one.
Yeah. Run into the right shoulder of...
It's so difficult when the player's being tackled and he's dropping and that player's standing there. His ability to adjust his height.
And just a bit of a follow-up from today's game at Western Sydney Stadium. Eels won the game, but there was concern around Jermaine Hopgood. Great work from our man Zane Bojack in the studios, just put on the screen for me. Unfortunately, bad news for the Eels. Confirmation from Jason Riles that it is an ACL tear for Jermaine Hopgood.
And he's a critical part of their forward pack.
So out of the season, Jermaine Hopgood. That's bad news for Parramatta.
That is a real tough one for the season going forward.
Crowd's seen that replay a couple of times. That's why they're hooting and hodling. No further.
On report, though.
Yeah, on report. And the Cowboys get a crack at the Titans line. 8 minutes played second half. North Queensland 22, Gold Coast 16. Lukey with a run. 15 from the goal line. Now second play, it's Cotter centering it up. And he'll be tackled only 12 metres out in centre field. First chance of the second half of the Cowboys. Marnie to the left. Steph up from Hess. Off his left. He runs into the defence, though. That's a good move from the big boy from Bundy. Taken only a couple of metres out. Now Marnie passes right. Dearden at the line. Keeps it moving right. Drinkwater holds it, gives it. And he slips over Burns out in that right wing, and he's jumped on by Sami and tackled right on the edge, 5 metres out, back to left and centre field. The pass to Marnie, given to Dearden, now onto Lodge, who runs back against the grain, but into the defence there on that right edge. Lodge held up, 10 from the goal line, 20 in from touch on the right. Played to Marnie, pass left and centre field. Cotter at the line, second man Dearden at the line, gives it on to the edge. McIntyre to Purdue, runs out of room, runs in field, got tackled, flips it out the back. It's messy, it's cleaned up by Taulungi. It's the last. He's 20 out. He gets a kick to it as his shorts were being pulled. He gets in the end goal. Clifford's close, but it's battered dead by the Titans. Jojo Fafita in the nick of time.
Looking to make sure that they're shouldering for the ball. There's no interference, and then confirming a knock on here by the Cowboys.
Well, that was getting messy at the end of it, but that kick turned out to be a pretty good last roll of the dice in the set from the Cowboys. He's losing his pants. Ball to it.
Both players are competing shoulder to shoulder, playing on.
And Jojo Fafita's left hand. Oh, he had an air swing, and then Clifford couldn't ground it properly.
Let's see if there's any touch here from the Cowboys player.
The ball just seemed to have evaded most.
The right hand up and down.
Clifford was close.
The ball is knocked back by Gold Coast Titans.
Fafita got a fingernail. Clifford got a fingernail but didn't plant. Oh, no, he can't
give that as a try.
He sort of had his hand near the ball when the ball was near the ground.
On by Jake Clifford with his right hand.
Yeah, no control.
Decision made.
So Well, 20-metre restart, 17.
A year, 2 years ago, they'd given that a try because there's...
Maybe not 2 years ago, but remember about 6 or 7 years ago? If you had a fingernail grazing
on it and pressing it was a try.
Simpkins, their fourth change has just gone on cue.
Tukey Simpkins. Okay, so the bench quartet is Moran, Simpkins, Hask and Bye. No need for Paxton and no need for Lachlan Ilias, who was named as the starting halfback today. But with Jaden Campbell back in the team, that's the move that's been made. Penalty. Titans here. Gee, there's been a lot of whistling in this game.
High tackle again.
It was on Verrills.
Yeah,
he's okay.
The player doing it.
Just slipped up off the shoulder. No, it wasn't. It was on Fermor.
Yeah, it did. It was
sorry. But Fermor's okay. Half an hour to go. 22-16 North Queensland. Both teams without a win in the 2 games so far this season. By the way, the Cowboys host Melbourne at home next week, and the Titans playing this time slot at home against St George Illawarra. It'll be the Titans' first home game. They haven't been able to get to Robina because of the Asian Cup. So a long-awaited home game for the Titans next week. They're on the attack. They're 40 metres out as Moran's gone into the defensive line and taken 31 from the Cowboys line. Plays it to Verrills. Passes to Primson. Chip and chase. Primson. No one in behind. He now scurries. Drinkwater's back there. Has to kick it dead. Goal line dropout coming up. Eyes up
awareness
football
from Brimson and great speed. To pop that over there, he's aware of what's going on around him, and just the speed to do it, and also the awareness from Drinkwater to see where things were at. He gave every chance to roll dead. It wouldn't, so a little nudge he gave it.
So he's earned the dropout. AJ Brimson, if anything. And shallow kick, which bounces 8 metres from the goal line and then bounces backwards. So that will be a Titans ball on the handover. So out on the left edge. And eventually, play is back underway as Fianai plays the footy, and the Titans have another.
Organise the Titans.
Well, and this gives the Cowboys an extra 30 seconds of oxygen there. First carry taken forward by Sami. 6 more though as he stopped. Now Cleese Haas, half a metre out when tackled by 3 Cowboys defenders near the post. Verrill sweeps the pass right. Moran dummies and steps, but he's cut down by the defence of Marnie. And another 6 more. Cowboys offside. Titans have Verrills feeding the inside run there of Holt, and Holt stopped just to the right of the uprights. Verrills gives it on to Simpkins, who loses it. Tukey Simpkins loses the ball, much to the delight of the crowd here in Townsville. And the Cowboys survive. 27 and a half minutes left in the game. It's NRL Sunday on ABC Sport. North Queensland 22 lead Gold Coast 16.
Things were building well there, but I think it was Lodge underneath the football there made good contact under the footy. But you've got to hold it in that situation, Quentin. And they were building, putting themselves in a situation, and bang.
Look, they're playing ball, so I'm going to buy here. Amber from Ipswich sends us a text on 0467 920 222. She texts, loving the call. I only keep my pale, bald Melbourne boyfriend around because he loves the footy. After that earlier text, thank you, Amber. Cowboys have got the ball. They're on their 20. And about 15 in from Tart on the left as the tattooed McIntyre plays the ball to Purdue. Passes him to the Taulungi. He has done a power of work, Murray Taulungi. And he stopped just short of the 30. Will play the ball to Marnie. Passes to his right. Cotter keeps it through the hands to Lodge. Lodge runs into 3 defenders, and Matt Lodge, the newly minted Cowboy, 15 from halfway as he plays the ball there. It's right side for Dearden onto Lukey. Runs into 2 defenders. He's taken down there by Fianai and also Sami. Right on halfway 5 in from Touch on the right. End of the set. Dearden's going to kick downfield. It's a delicately placed ball which will roll into the in-goal area. It's taken by Kinney. He's near the dead ball line, but he gets back into the field of play just having weaved past the first on-rusher of Clifford, only to be stopped by Chester, but the Titans are right on their own line. And now Faimani has a go. That Fiamani can't get through. He's still far from his own line, the winger there. Now Jojo Fafita crashed into play 3. Still only 8 from the Northern Ingoal, the Titans, as they finally get back on side. There's a few there to help. Simpkins buffets away from Cotter before being stopped. That was a good run, 15 from the goal line. Quick play the ball. Ferrells gives it on to Kinney. Oh, he's put a hop and a step on. It passes to the left, through the hands. Finai gives to Sami, up to the 40, up towards halfway before being stopped. Out on that left edge, the tackle coming across there from Chester. Last play Titans, and Campbell puts up a floating deep bomb, which is caught by Drinkwater, 10 from the goal line. Nice take from the Cowboys fullback. Runs laterally and dummied a couple of times and has taken about 11 from his own line. Grant Bell, it's North Queensland 22, Gold Coast 16 penalty. Cowboys with the markers not square.
Yeah, and we just seem to be doing this back and forwards situation, and it's not good enough from either side. The discipline, the errors, and the issues. You found another one there?
Yeah, Mark from the ACT says, rather than the Rabina roller coaster when we get for a Titans home game, it's like, what do you call this? The Townsville train wreck? It's not that bad. I give you points for the alliteration. It's not that bad, is it, Laurie Spooner on the touchline? Pretty impressive down there.
Yeah, I felt worse, but yeah, the humidity is making the boys sweat a lot, I can tell you that. Yeah, the big men are holding up, not too bad, but yeah, delicate situation with 24 to go.
Early in the season. Yeah, it's
you see a couple more tries yet?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Each side.
22-16, it's just a bit ragged out there. Jackson Purdue has the ball for North Queensland. He scored a first half try. He's 5 inside his own half. 24 and a half to go. It's now Tamalolo back out there, and those thighs get pumping from the veteran. Give him 6 post-contact metres to get within 42 of the goal line before being stopped. Plays it to Money, given right through Drinkwater to Dearden. Feeds the inside line of Lukey, who runs into the tackle of Brimson and also Furmore. 20 in from the right and 32 metres from the Titans line. Cowboys with the ball, with the lead. Tamalolo goes low to take a good catch on a low pass. Gave to Clifford. He gives it on to McIntyre. McIntyre tackled 25 out, slightly left edge. Pass to right and centre field from Cotter to Tamalolo to Dearden. Second man Drinkwater. He takes them on. Gets ankle tapped by Brimson. Gets up. Gets jumped on by Fiernay. Ball played out in the right. 15 out. Last play Cowboys. Dearden runs it. His floating pass goes to Deck. Clifford keens it up. Gets the pass to Purdue. Defence it overrun him. Purdue goes at the line, then tries a little flip out the back. It's kicked towards the in-goal area and jumped on by the Titans. What's the ref say? Knock on Titans. Cowboys will get another go here. Jackson Purdue sort of found a hole that he didn't think was there. And then I think he sort of almost slipped the tackle when he thought he stopped and chucked it out the back. And yeah, the Titans have knocked it on. Captain's challenge here.
All right, Liam. Captain's challenge here for the Titans.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it came off a Titans' hand here. I thought it came off a foot or a leg.
Yeah, Purdue sort of chucked it back into...
The ball is knocked backwards by the Cowboys. No touch by the Titans at this stage.
Yeah, he chucked it into Kinney's belly, and I don't think he played at it, and then he put his toe to it, Keanu Kinney, so I don't think it's a knock-on. This might be a really big moment in the game.
The ball touches Keanu Kinney's right arm. We now need perspective.
Really? I don't think it does.
The ball is knocked towards the opponent's dead ball line. The captain's challenge.
It hit him in the stomach, didn't it?
No, it's hit him in the upper part of the arm.
What do you reckon, Loz?
Yeah, I think it just scraped his arm. That's what they're saying anyway. Yeah, just did.
A tough call.
Well,
tough outcome for him.
Looking next door to the Titans coach's box, they seem to have just taken it in. 23 and a half minutes to go, so the Cowboys will get another go at the Titans line here. Centre field scrum only 10 metres out. Both teams desperate to register their first victories of the 2026 season. 22-10 at halftime for the Cowboys. Titans with a try to Morin in the second half. 22-16 as it stands. Scrum centre field, 10 out for North Queensland. Marnie off the back, gives it left for Purdue. Takes on Fafita. Fafita gets it one-on-one.
It's got deceptive speed, Purdue.
Yep. Played there though to Taulungi. Passes infield to Marnie. Marnie on to Cotter. Runs into the defence. There's 3 around him. And Ruben Cotter's put down slightly left-hand side and 8 metres from the goal line that the Titans are defending. To the right, Dearden gives it on to to Hess. Hess runs into 3 defenders. Big Cohen's put down 10 to the right of the uprights. Cowboys only 3 metres out from the goal line. They're attacking. To the right, Marnie for Dearden. At the line, dummy taken down. Taken down high.
Right.
Tight tackle against Simpkins, I think. Anyway, it's not on report. It's just a penalty. And the Cowboys will have another go here. This has been so stop-start, this game.
They're going to go for 2.
Put it outside the 6 points.
Yeah.
Not a bad option given both sides' inability to really complete and get through their sets and present a threat.
So Jane Clifford has kicked 3 from 4 today and opting for the penalty goal about 12 metres in from touch on the right.
Yeah, after the season Tom Dearden had last year, he got through so many of those holes. They're really closing that hole up for him when he dummies, and he hasn't been able to get through, but he's trying. And I think Ruben Cotter wasn't playing last week, and I think he's added to that starch in the middle of the ruck this week, I think.
Laurie Spina down on the touchline, the inaugural Cowboys captain with you on NRL Sunday here on ABC Sport, as Jake Clifford in his second coming here at the Cowboys. Went to Newcastle, went overseas. It's his 3rd year back, Jake Clifford, and looking to kick this penalty goal to extend the Cowboys' lead to 8 points on this Sunday evening. 12 in from touch on the right. About 18 metres out, Clifford approaches and strikes it well, raises the flags, kicks the penalty goal. North Queensland 24, Gold Coast 16, 21 minutes to play, Grant Bell.
Yeah, it could be a very telling kick, that one, and may well find that 2 points is invaluable come full time.
0467 920 222 to get in touch on the SMS. Lads in the AFL half-time. North Melbourne holds a 7-point lead over West Coast. By the way, you can try and get footy even closer to the action these days on ABC Listen. Scanning through there, look for ABC Rapid. That's got even less delay. You can almost sync it up with all the TV pictures, ABC Rapid. There's a lost ball, first carry from the Cowboys. Cohen Hess, 2-on-1 strip penalty.
And there's no challenge left.
So ABC Rapid, give it a try on ABC Listen. Get home, mute on the telly, ABC Rapid, pretty close. I know people are very smart these days, sort of pausing their
staggering and
syncing it all,
juggling to get it all worked together.
Yeah, so there's a new toy for you to play with and to get it worked out. Check it out on the app. Cowboys kicked to halfway and first carry taken by Chester, who is only 38 metres out from the Titans line. So once again, North Queensland on the attack. Off the score, they get a piggyback to the attacking end. Second play, Tamalolo put down 32 metres out. And he's looked pretty good tonight, Jason Tamalolo. Left side, Drinkwater at the line. Given to Clifford, who dummies and straightens. Hole closes just 20 metres from the goal line. Good tackle made by Jaden Campbell. He got help from Ho. Now to the right, Drinkwater's given it on to Clifford, who gets Dearden under a high tackle. Gives it back to Drinkwater, to Clifford. Little run around back to Drinkwater. Huge overlap on the left. Purdue's got it. Oh, he couldn't get in time. The defence shift. Runs infield. Gives a pass to Clifford. And Clifford does go in to score. They almost mucked it up, but Jackson Purdue summed it up brilliantly, came back in field, needed support, and Jake Clifford was there in the time of need. He scores the try, and the Cowboys extend their lead to 28-16, kick to come.
Yeah, well, it came back to, first of all, Dearden just controlling the ball and holding the ball in difficult circumstances, and I thought Purdue gave the ball a little bit early across his body there. No, sorry, McIntyre gave the ball a little bit early there to Purdue, but it was Purdue who then came back inside and found his man. And, the ever-present Jake Clifford, he is having a good start to the season, and he'll be pleased with it, building more and more confidence in the combination with Tommy Dearden.
So Jake Clifford scores the try, And it's a pretty kind angle for the kick too. Laurie Spooner down on the touchline.
Yeah, you spoke about combinations, Grant. You're right. The more they play together, the more they'll improve. Beautiful little run around there from Drinkwater and Clifford. Made a bit of space, came back, and he's backing up. Yeah, I think he needs a bit of confidence to back in Clifford, and he'll grow with that. But yeah, it's an important try for the Cowboys. It's cooled off a touch, but yeah, the Titans giving away a lot of penalties, 6 again, and making those errors hasn't helped them.
Yeah, a bit of bruise up here. Laurie is getting more comfortable.
The air conditioning.
No, the air conditioning isn't working. I got to put a complaint in about that one.
Got to have the windows.
We've got the windows open here, Laurie.
Always.
It's beautiful.
From years of doing cricket with Jim Maxwell, if you've got windows that can open them. Feel the contest. And I can feel Clifford knocking this over. And I can feel the Townsville faithful saying, maybe, we open our account today. That's a conversion for 30 points to 16, North Queensland with 18 minutes to go, Grant Bell.
Yeah, and I think it's starting to become a bridge too far for the Titans players. A lot of them really looking like they're struggling a little bit through there. They're paying the price for errors and turnovers. And going back, that all went back to a ball stolen off the front rower in Hess. And from that, they advanced down the field and never looked in doubt.
Sonny Luke's just gone on for his first game in Townsville, Q.
So there we go. We've got Hess, Luke, Lars and Lodge from the bench. No O'Donnell and no Labert today for the Cowboys.
Labert's actually ended up paying quite a price for his indiscretion and suspension, missing out on Las Vegas. And
it's weird how you can get 60 minutes into a game and not know the ins and outs from the week before.
I do worry, Quentin, about the two players who don't play. If they're regularly don't play, gee, I think it makes it hard for them to find their footing.
Yeah, and there's a domino effect as well. We get to halfway here with Drinkwater second last play, and Clifford kicks downfield at the end of the set. It's a bomb which is caught by Kinney, defensive right corner, and Taulungi's there to tackle him. And the story will blow up when you get 4 top-class players through Origin time, not able to play club football and then not contribute during an Origin game. Yep. So that's it. That is the story where the clubs will explode about it when we get to Origin time, and you've got 4 players ruled out of club football that don't get to play in Origin, and they won't be average players. They'll be 4 superstar players.
There'll be 4 top-of-the-line players.
4 players that could impact club football that won't get a run during Origin, but won't be allowed to play at club footy. Titans have got the ball. Have they got a way back into this game? 30-16 North Queensland, 16 and a half to go. You think Gold Coast would have to score next as Campbell is taken. Scored 2 brilliant first half tries, 1 a solo weaving run, 1 an intercept. He's taken 5 from halfway, now right edge. Good defence from the Cowboys there as Hess and Purdue combined to stop Kinney. He plays the ball 15 in from touch on halfway. Out in the right pass infield. Campbell gave the pass to Moran. It was a bit ungainly. Moran catches it though, and it wasn't Moran, it was Randall who's tackled 5 from halfway. Campbell will kick downfield at the end of the set. A high, deep ball. Drinkwater hardly has to shuffle his feet to catch it comfortably. He just balances himself, catches it on the 10 and runs to the 20. And that's where he will be stopped. Scotty Drinkwater, left edge, plays the ball there to Clifford. Now Taulungi passes out to the right. And a straightening run from Burns, who almost got through, and he chucked the ball to the edge trying to link with Chester. Gone out the back, did and cleans it up. But it's a knock on from the Cowboys in all of that.
I just want to give you a little example of what happens with the big blokes, and particularly with Hess. Hess in there was just exhausted coming out of the last tackle. They're going upstairs to review this.
Cowboys challenge and the on-field decision of a knock-on.
Hess was clearly struggling. He put his hands in his head. He took him down. He shuffled and shuffled, got back, made the chase on the kicker, put the pressure on,
Cowboys player,
and got the pressure in. And then after that, they've gone, you're gone, get off, and pulled him off. And he's quite exhausted on the sideline.
Cowboys dead ball line,
finding something.
So Liam Kennedy's in the bunker at the moment. He hasn't found a knock-on.
Cowboys then take possession.
So this challenge looks like it's going to be a good one, which is important.
The whistle is then blown for a mutual infringement. We'll be going back for a play the ball. The captain's challenge is successful.
And That's important. But you really only think at 30 to 16, the Cowboys would have to invite Gold Coast back into the game. That almost looked like
it was a
part of that
chance for
invitation. But the captain's challenge is good, and the Cowboys will retain possession on their own 30.
You know, Cohen Hess is one of those players who's just got so much energy in what he does. He's probably the best chaser of a kicker, and really puts some pressure on his opponents and finds something.
You know, the wonder of radio, word, pictures, and using a bit of your imagination. We got to do the job of trying to describe everything, and also the things that happen backstage. Yep. Zane Bojak's in the studio, the Savo, and he's putting notes on the screen and all that type of stuff. So good on you, Zano.
It's good to see him earning his dollars for a change.
All a part of the team here on NRL Sunday on ABC Sport after the Eels beat the Dragons earlier today, but they've lost Jermaine Hopgood. If you missed that news, ACL tear for Jermaine Hopgood. Para beat the Dragons 30 to 12. Cowboys looking to go on the attack here again. Dearden feeds it out in the right to Lukey. He's tackled 15 in from the right and 30 metres from the goal line. Plays it there, pass infield, goes to Dearden, who bombs from 30 metres out. It'll come down. Oh, Kenny leaps. Great catch on his chest. 12 metres from the goal line.
He's been so safe tonight.
Isn't it nice to see a fullback go up and try and catch it on their chest, old style?
Yep.
That was a beauty. We had Gary Jack on the program earlier today. That was a bit Gary Jack-esque, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The way he used to leap and catch. Did anyone ever run back from fullback as mad as Gary Jack looked when he used to run the ball back?
Oh, I was angry.
He just looked all energy. If you're a young listener, YouTube Gary Jack kick returns. He just went all in with them. Right side shift from the Titans. They need something up to halfway. Fafita tackled near the touchline by Clifford. Somehow he kept it in. Picked up by Kenny. Tackled from behind by Purdue. Ball lost. Cowboys have got it on their 30 and they shift it. Dearden's little ball. Oh, good defence there from the Titans. That almost put Chester away. He stopped on halfway. Quick play the ball. Burns runs over halfway. A dozen post-contact metres almost. This is fraying at the edges. They're getting tired here. 13 and a half to go. Cowboys on the attack. They score next. You reckon you could bank their first 2 points of the season. Now settling run down the middle from Neem. Tackle 32 out to the right. He gives it to Dearden. Change of direction back to the left. Drinkwater on to Clifford. 30 out. Gives the pass to McIntyre. Almost stepped through. Good defence in the end there from Campbell. Stomps him. Now dummy half there. Sonny Luke puts in a grubber. He's got chasers. It's Drinkwater, but he couldn't get there before Bo Fermor bats it dead to save the day for the Titans. Goal line dropouts.
Great work there from Bo Fermor to find his way back there and certainly to beat the chase of Scotty Drinkwater, who looked for all the money was going to make it there. Good read and good effort to get through there and do the job.
Yeah, you can't say the fullbacks aren't getting involved tonight, and yeah, there's a number of young, small fullbacks around, isn't there?
Short dropout, knocked on by the Cowboys. So the Titans kicked it 18 on the fly. Hold on. One hand one way, one hand the other way. It's like the time warp. Arm to the left, arm to the right. What do we got after all of that? So originally the call was knock on from the leaping Burns. It was cleaned up by Dearden. And then the referee says, no, sorry, I meant to say it's a Cowboys ball because the Titans had knocked it on. Yeah, and the Cowboys will get it.
They gave a penalty.
Did they get one of those disruptors? Yeah, a non-challenging leaper.
But I thought it was a Cowboys player who disrupted his own catcher.
Cowboys have got it, and they're on the attack. How we got there?
Don't know.
Well, let's leave it in the past, because Neem's tackled only 8 metres out. 12 minutes to go. Cowboys lead 30 to 16. Right side exploration. Dearden feeds it there to Lukey, who can't get through. Tackled 5 metres out. Luke out of dummy half. Luke E played it to Luke, and now here's Tomalolo. Big JT carrying forward to the goal line and stopped. Oh, that was 8 metres he had them on his back. Now out of dummy half. Sonny Luke has a burrow. He's into the in-goal area. He's held up right under the nose of referee Goff.
Jason Tamalolo, I thought at the back end of last year, and he was playing with injury, and the start of this year, we've seen some of his best.
There's a Titan down. Yeah, Sam Ferrells. And and the referee has had to stop play now. Whether this is a technical timeout with the ball out to the 10 for the play the ball, and Sam Verrills is now going to get up and be okay to continue, but he's given his defenders an extra 40 seconds to get oxygen into their chests. Smart play from Sam Verrills with his team under the pump and the result drifting. Right side, left side shift, McIntyre, wrap play there with Drinkwater on to Purdue. Purdue's tackled. That was the last and a handover. Well, that worked in the end from Sam Verrills.
Well, I'm going to say I think you're a bit harsh on Sam Verrills because I do think that Jason Taumalolo landed on his leg.
Yeah, but I know.
Stay off the ball now, Clifford.
I know, but at the same time, I think he was smart enough to realise if I don't get up immediately here, they can't start play because it's been held up and back to the 10. So, 6 to go again. Titans up over the 30. North Queensland 30, Gold Coast 16. 10 and a half to go. It's been a ragged old affair in slippery conditions as the Titans lose the ball. Taulagi comes in and rings the bell of Keanu Kenny, who's knocked it on. And he's up and he's okay. Great. I reckon Taulagi's had a huge game.
He has. His involvements, he's been in there. He's run yards when the tough yards were needed, when his forwards were hurting. And that is tremendous contact from him.
Right into his ribs.
Yeah, he's got the great timing of coming in from the wing like that, and he really hits him hard. He's got a bit of a knee injury because I've seen him limp a few times.
30 points to 16. North Queensland lead Gold Coast. NRL Sunday on ABC Sport. Cowboys with the scrum feed out in the left on the 30. Pass to centre field. Clifford to Dearden, who just holds it up, and then the man onto his right overran the line, so he has to stop and gets tackled. Dearden out in the right, 29 metres from the goal line. Drinkwater at dummy half. Gives it on to Lukey with a one-out settler. And Lukey's 21 metres out, slightly right side as he'll play the ball. Lukey to Luke. Luke gives it on to Cotter to the left. Clifford running at the line. Second man, Purdue. Beats one. Fafita had rushed out of the line. Good tackle. Campbell around his ankles. 10 metres out. Blind side. Taulagi going for a hat-trick. Marty Taulagi has stopped just short. Just short of that third try. Played to McIntyre. Pass right in centre field. Clifford on to Dearden. Shows it. Gives it to the right to Drinkwater. Holds it up. Lukey in a hole. Great defence. Oh, great defence there from Fino. Makes the tackle and then the pass out the back intercepted by Brimson. He's tackled. He's lifted and held. But somehow the Titans survived that. And they stay in the contest just with 9 minutes to go. Cowboys unable to get over the line there. Sami plays it on the 20. Now Kenny runs infield. And he's upended once more. Midway goal line and halfway, Keanu Kenny. As the ball played to Fairnight. Passes there through to Fodawaker. No Fodawaker for the Titans, just short of the 30. Plays the ball to Verrills. Given on to Tino, who's had a quiet day. Tino Fasua-Malaawi, the skipper of the Titans.
Very few times you've mentioned his name in calling.
Yeah, but dozen from halfway into the set. Left-footed kick downfield from Brimson. It's taken by Drinkwater, who links up with Burns, wrapping in field, and Burns is going to be taken 30 from the goal line. He's defending. 8 minutes left in the game. North Queensland lead by 14 points. What are you pointing at there, Belly?
They've called for a headbin down there.
Okay.
Is that Verrills down?
He's on a knee about 30 metres away from the ball, which is in the hands of Purdue, defensive left edge here. And now they do stop the game.
They're calling for a head knock. I can't see whether there's...
Well, there's blood all over his
there,
face.
Isn't there?
Yeah, it's all over the place. Yeah. He looks like he's come fresh from the set of being an extra for Freddie Krueger.
Yeah.
It's quite graphically, he's up and okay, but it's very graphically splattered across his face.
Yeah, I just note that Laurie and I could see that without binoculars.
Yeah, when you were looking at the big screen.
I was looking down there.
Yeah.
The thing come on the big screen until after. You're kidding. You picked up the... Oh, somebody down there.
I was looking at the ball.
30 metres away from the ball.
I was trying to describe the action. Jackson Purdue had the ball. Hey, Loz, you're closest.
Yeah, he needs to come off. That's a big cut. A lot of blood coming out everywhere.
Yeah. It's from behind his ear.
And the scalp bleeds so easily.
Oh, he ran into his teammate's elbow. Chris Randall was in the tackle, and it sort of copped him, the old rabbit killer behind the ear.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be lots of, a significant cut to bleed an awful lot in that area.
So Sam Verrills is off. 7 minutes and 51 seconds on the clock. North Queensland holding the Titans at arm's length. They lead 30 points to 16, and now Purdue does play the ball on this left edge, 15 from halfway. Taulungi on another carry. About half a dozen on that run for Murray Taulungi, just short of halfway. Plays the ball there to Luke, given to Cotter. To the right for Tamalolo at the line, pop pass. Neem almost through, but cut down 45 metres from the Titans line. Looking to just seal it off here, the Cowboys. Tamalolo with a rampager down the middle. Great run. He's 30, make it 29 metres out centre field when stopped. Last play coming up. It goes to Dearden, puts it to his boot. Deep kick from Tom Dearden at the end of the set. Caught by Kinney right on his goal line. He's in the in-goal area. He was taken into the in-goal area. It's a goal line dropout. Goal line dropout. 7 minutes to go.
Courageous effort from him, though. He took it well, just in the field of play, but not enough to be able to manage himself back into the ball, retain his position in the field of play without being driven back.
As we thought, Verrills HIA.
Yeah, thank you, Laurie. Restart, well, it's an in-between dropout, about 25 on the fly. Caught comfortably by Burns with the Cowboys out in the right. Give it to Dearden. Now to Clifford, centre field. Jake Clifford, he's collared and dragged down by Atamaho. And we'll play it 24 metres out. Purdue passes one man infield to Tamalolo. These are good signs for this ageing warrior in his 17th season. He's been very effective today. Stopped 18 metres out. Now to the right. Dearden at the line. Quick hands. Drinkwater to the edge onto Lukey. But Lukey's going to be tackled by Max Fianai out there in company with Furmore. They stop him 5 metres out. Now Luke dummies infield, runs to the blind. Sonny Luke, but he's taken by the marker defence. Brimson makes the tackle. Ball shoveled infield now off the play of the ball to Drinkwater. Give it on to Dearden. 15 out. Lateral ball to the left. Right to left play. Clifford's pass to Purdue and he's tackled. Wrapped up solidly by Fafita. Last play Cowboys. Out in the left, a dozen out. Blindside play. Taulungi feeds Clifford. Clifford tackled and loses the ball.
Cowboys trying to pass. Last tackle.
Out to the 10 and a handover for the Titans. Quentin Hull, Grant Bell and Laurie Spooner with you in Townsville for NRL Sunday on ABC Sport. Cowboys 5.5 minutes away from their first win of the season. You'd think Titans will be 0-3, hosting St George Illawarra at home next week, but finally they get to Robina, which will be a pleasing thing for...
Well, certainly the home ground opportunity for the Cowboys, I think, has raised their stakes tonight. They've really risen to the occasion at home.
Titans with it as it's played by Fianai on his own 30. Now, Fasul Malaawi gets away from Queensland teammate Dearden and almost away from Queensland teammate Cotter, but they eventually make the tackle on Tino 10 from halfway. Now Brimson receives, passes to Fodawaker, got Dak, but got a pass to Campbell. Jaden Campbell to the 20, got a high tackle. High tackle from Tom Chester and goes to Deck. You'll get, I think he's a bit dazed. Oh, it didn't look great. It's not quite in the coat hanger region, but Chester coming. Oh, it is a coat hanger.
It is. I think he'll land in the bin here.
That's a bad one from Tom Chester. And Jaden was a bit limp going to ground.
It looks a little worse than what it is, and I think Campbell needed to get himself up because he didn't want to be finding himself in these closing minutes in an HIA.
But at the same time, Tom Chester, I don't think
will stay on the
field for the rest of the game.
No,
and he might not be playing next week against Melbourne with that one. It's an old-fashioned stiff arm. Mind you, Jaden's moving fast and Chester's moving fast to try and tackle him, but it's poor technique. And let's tune in.
It's direct. You are coming up off the ground, which is part of it. Or it falls.
10 minutes in the sin bin for Tom Chester and on report. And, well, the Cowboys fans may boo, but what do you reckon, belly.
I think the sin bin's fair. I don't think it was his elbow's bent when he makes contact. It's really just poor technique.
Not a swinging arm?
No, not a swinging arm in the sense of what they used to be doing.
Yeah.
But I think he'll have a case to answer if he's intending on playing next week.
Jaden's off, Laurie.
Yeah, even though it's sort of a reflex, he thought he was going to step, but you can't go that high anymore. You've got to cut them out.
Yeah, and Campbell's night's done as well because he's up the tunnel for a head injury assessment.
Yeah.
The fact his feet left the ground was a point that was made, and that's a key indicator, I know, from the judiciary.
4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. Gold Coast have another crack. They've got, one-man advantage now. To the right, past there.
Gee, it's good defence again.
Yeah, he's had a huge game, Taulagi, coming in off the left edge, jamming in on Ho. Plays the ball there. Fiamanai plays it, passes infield. Now here's Tino. Tino for Asuamala. Awi centre third, dragged down 7 metres from the Cowboys line. Plays the ball to Randall, passes left. Elias has been able to come on the field, and he's lost it. He's lost the ball.
So, Laurie, I know there's not long to go. The ruling that's allowed Elias to come on.
Yeah, that's it. If there's an illegal play, HIA, the fifth can come on.
So that's the fifth.
And they've used all of their...
The 4 and the number 5 can come on.
Yeah, so they've used all their 4.
Yeah.
The illegal action leading to an HIA, and it's no longer 18th man, it's 5th interchange player activated.
That's right.
Yeah, so, but Elias lost the ball. He was probably thinking, well, they've used 4, I'm not going to be needed. And then gets out there and drops it. 3.5 to go. Cowboys have got the footy. Off that scrum win. And Taulagi, once again, he's been prominent in the call. Tackled with the first carry. Now Cotter gets beyond the 20. Good to see Ruben Cotter back. Plays it midway goal line and halfway now. Taumalolo down the middle third. I think that's one of the pleasing things for Cowboys fans tonight. Not just the result, but Drinkwater and Taumalolo and a couple of these important players who have been up and down a bit the last couple of inconsistent years for the Cowboys. They've looked good tonight. Up to halfway on the run of Griffin Neem. Now out of dummy half. Luke's gives to Dearden. Dearden on to Lukey, but he's wrapped up out there. Heelam Lukey. Last play, Cowboys. They're 42 out, 10 in from the right. It goes to Drinkwater. Drinkwater puts up a left-footed bomb, which will come down about 20 metres out. Again, Kenny leaps brilliantly. Catches it on his chest.
He's done very well tonight.
Yeah.
In a beaten team, he's done very well.
He was challenged, and then they hold him down. Penalty goes to Gold Coast. For a little guy, he's happy. He leaps and tries to take it on his chest, old style. I love it.
Now, it's not the 200-odd metres that we're used to seeing from Jason Taumalolo, but 136 metres from 12 carries.
Yeah, those days are gone, I think, for those numbers for JT, because he plays about, 2/3 of the time these days.
But they're big metres from him tonight. Yeah. He's done very well.
So how many minutes for him? Sit on this.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find him again.
48 minutes. Yeah.
You're sticking your finger in front of it there. so you can get the answer first. I'm just going to block it out so you can't see it.
Point it out for you. Tyne's got it on halfway. Fodawaker's dropped it again. He has had a Barry Crocker.
Is that a tough night?
Mo Fodawaker drops it, and the poor old Titans are going to be 0-3. Josh Hanna knew he was in for tough stuff, but it's been a tough start for them. Finally, they get home. They'd see the Dragons at Robina as winnable. They'd have to.
Yeah, well, the Dragons made a good start tonight, but gave up a lead to a Parramatta that just kept persistent. So that gives any team a good indication that they're a chance. 90
seconds to go. Cowboys have got the ball. They lead 30-16. They're going to win the game, and the pressure valve will just ease a little on Todd Payton for the time being, but they'll get stern test next week up here. They've got the Melbourne Storm coming to town. As Neem is tackled centre field, 35 out for North Queensland. Sonny Luke directs it left for Clifford. On to Drinkwater, through the hands. Catch and give from Purdue, almost to the touchline. Taulagi almost fell over the touchline trying to pick it up, such as his... No, and then he dropped it in a two-man tackle. Right in front of you, Laurie.
Purdue was not happy. Did you hear what he had to say, Laurie? Can you repeat it?
No, I couldn't. Can't repeat it.
Ragged at best at the back end of this game, Loz.
Yeah, it's got very scruffy again. Talangi, it's a worry about that bit of a lip he's got, but he's had a strong game, hasn't he?
He's had a really strong game.
But the forwards, their error rate, it'd be disappointing for Josh Hannah.
If that's how he's playing, Kinney tries to pass, almost intercepted. It is intercepted. It was batted backwards by Burns into the hands of McIntyre. He's tackled, so the Cowboys get the ball back. There's 27 seconds left. They're going to win the game. It's a matter of margin now. Driving tackle from Atamaho. He puts Drinkwater to deck. 30 out. Now Tamalolo, centre of the park. Passes left for Clifford. Clifford has to stand and is dragged to turf. 23 metres out. There's 11 seconds left in the game. One, maybe two plays left for the Cowboys. Dearden decides to kick for the in-goal area. He's got McIntyre chasing through. Kinney sees it dead, but the fans in Townsville are happy. It's the first time they've seen their boys in the pledge in 2026. And the first time North Queensland picks up a W for the season. The Cowboys have won. Gold Coast remain winless. Full time in Townsville. North Queensland 30 defeat Gold Coast 16 after it was 22-10 for the hosts at halftime. 5 tries to 3. Talangi scored twice. Drinkwater, Purdue and Clifford also scored. Clifford kicking 5 goals from 6 attempts. Campbell scored twice for the Titans. Moran scored as well. Campbell kicked 2 goals from 3 attempts. 22-10 at halftime becomes North Queensland 30, Gold Coast 16. End of section, end of round 3. But it's not the end of us. Stick around. We'll get Laurie's interviews, Grant's votes, and
That's here. They reckon that Murray Talangi has made 4 tackles only for the game. I reckon they've got the wrong man a few times because he's come in off the edge and perhaps there were some incompletes there where the ball was released, but he certainly shut down more than 4 plays from the edge there. But 140-odd metres run, he's had a big game out there tonight, as has a player who's been under some criticism for a while, and that is Jace Tamalolo. I thought he had a big game tonight, plenty of metres from him. And I'll give Scott Drinkwater a rap, a player who's had plenty of pressure on him. Looked safe, looked dangerous, 2 tries. Was a real challenge out there.
Almost a little preview of the votes. Just before we get to Laurie's interview, latest from the AFL third quarter, West Coast lead North Melbourne by 13 points. Eagles 79, Kangaroos 67. A-League men's second half, Melbourne City 1, lead Perth Glory 0. Here, 30 points to 16.
A few North Melbourne supporters thinking that there was a winnable game for them. Looking at finishing at the top of the table after round 2.
Well, there's still a bit to go there. We'll keep you up to date before we finish. Of course, you can hear it on ABC Listen if you want, on the red and blue button. Now, young Caden Lars has just come over to say good day to Laurie. And he wasn't even going for it. Isn't it the other way around, Lars? You're supposed to come up to the players for the interview at the end of the game. He just wanted to come and shake your hand.
That's all right. They're good young boys. AJ Grimson wants it. I'll give him a chat.
Yeah.
I'd like to see.
So, he's just giving the players a chance to...
He puts the players on a commission to come and talk to him too.
Yeah.
A certain amount of sugar a year.
Well, Cowboys fans won't mind the nature of the win. It was scrappy, but they got there in the end. And as you mentioned, a couple of players who perhaps have come in for criticism at different times. Good signs there tonight for the guys that need to be senior, consistent performers if this Cowboys team is to return to the finals in 2026.
I thought Helam Lukey's made a good progression every game he's played too, and I thought today he was very strong. He took some good yardage runs. He had some good runs in the scoring territory into the field, and he was pretty physical in his contact defensively.
Just having a natter out there. Righto, Loz. He's just waiting for AJ to have a finish of his chat to Tommy.
Here we go.
Let's get down to Laurie Spina.
AJ, pretty tough night out. He tried tried really hard, but
yeah, I just made it way too hard for ourselves. I just couldn't count the 6 agains they got. Just ill discipline.
yeah, a number of crucial errors by the forwards at half time. Josh wouldn't have been happy about that.
Nah, he was pretty filthy at half time, which is warranted. Just getting too much footy. Made it too easy for him, made it too hard for us.
Positive. Jaden, your half partner, he was excellent tonight. Scored a beautiful try.
No, he's big for us when we needed him. We're happy to have him back.
Back to the drawing board. No easy way, is it? Just a lot of hard work.
That's it. We'll stick to the drawing board. We'll get there slowly, but frustrating.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you, Laurie. AJ Brimson, you can still see the players really tight, sort of sapping conditions. I mentioned it's not as humid as it could be this time of year in Townsville, and probably thank heavens for that, because it's still pretty sticky out there. Feels like it's got more humid as the evening's got on.
Yeah, and you mentioned some players before, and certainly you didn't mention Tino too much through the game, but Fodawaka and Tino, less than 50 metres each for their running metres.
Back out to Laurie.
Ruben Cotter, plenty of sweat over you. Hot night, but important win.
Yeah, tough night. Good to get the monkey off the back. I thought our boys dialed into what we wanted to do. Our training prep was really good during the week. We spoke about holding on to the ball and kicking the corners and getting our kick chase on, and working hard in the effort areas where last week we weren't physical enough and we weren't connected, so I thought we went really well.
Yeah, what did Todd speak about through the week? You didn't play last week, but what things did he mention you had to turn around this week?
Yeah, well, our main sesh for the Tigers game wasn't the best prep. We weren't physical enough, and we tried to dial into that for our main sesh this week. We had a bit more time Sunday game, but we really went after the game, and we were physical together, and the 6 agains make things interesting, but if you can hold on in those tough periods, the momentum will swing back at some point. So I thought we did really well at controlling the ball and controlling our intercepts for the most part, but still plenty of work to do.
Drinky was a bit freer this week. The rip card has been bothering, and when he gets involved, it's really important for the team.
Yeah, he's a class player. Had a bit of a chip on his shoulder this week. I had a point to prove, I reckon, and he was one of our best on ground. And the more direct he can be for us, the more space it leaves for our edges. And I thought he'd done a great job with that. And it went really well.
Doesn't get any easier. Melbourne next week, really important game.
Yeah, tough game. One of the top teams in the comp, so it gets tougher, and we'll get back and work on things that need to improve on, but take some confidence out of that one.
All North Queensland would love to know how your wife's doing and everyone's thinking of her.
Yeah, my wife's doing good. She's recovered pretty well. She's up and about, and I'm just happy all things went to plan, and I was able to be there for her. And just a quick one, big shout out to her. She does a lot, and after such a big operation, she never complained once. So very grateful for her and what she does for me. So it was good that I could be there for her. So
I'm getting a bit emotional too, mate. You're a great dad, and I'm sure you got the kids in heart, and all the best.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, good on you, Laurie. And for those unaware, Ruben Cotter's wife, Mackenzie, she went in for her, I think it's 8th bout of heart surgery last week, so that's why he didn't play in that game against the Tigers. And some quite heartwarming social media scenes there where Ruben was helping tie her hair back and feed her in hospital and all manner of things for a hard man of footy. Now, I think Laurie's got one more interview on his mind before I give you the ladder. North Queensland's won the game 30-16. Righto, you've worked hard there, lost to scoot across, so we better let you chat to Reid Marnie.
Reid, nice first win at home for the Cowboys.
Yeah, great win. It was a bit scrappy at times, but we found a way to win. We take plenty of lessons out of it, and and keep working hard and keep getting results.
Give the team a bit of confidence. What things against Melbourne you got to work on?
Oh, there's plenty of things, mate. I think we've got to keep evolving our game and keep working hard. We're at training, and I thought we really earned our luck this week through our training week. So we keep that high standard. We'll definitely get the results we want on the weekend. And first 2 weeks were ugly. Vegas probably didn't get what we deserved. We turned a lot of ball over and they punished us. And then last week we just weren't at our best. So we forget them 2 games, take today's win and move on and keep trying to get better and keep putting 80-win performances in.
Ruben Cotter helped in that middle a fair bit, and you can see when you have those quick play the balls, there's plenty of yardage to made and gives it back a bit freer.
Yeah, he's great, mate. He's our skipper for a reason, and there's one guy that you love playing next to is Big Rube. So he's enormous for us again tonight, and love playing with him.
How you enjoying the heat in North Queensland?
Yeah, well, I feel like you sort of get used to it training this every day, but tonight she got me good. So just keep working hard and getting in the sun, mate, and I'll hopefully one day I'll get used to it, but I don't think I will.
Good people up here. Thanks for your time on ABC Sport.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Laurie, I thought you could check with Reid, because Quentin, I thought at the start of the call, said it was a really comfortable night for football out here, and the players would probably enjoy it.
Well, put it this way, it seemed a little kinder than we can get it.
It's been a lot worse, Q.
It has.
Yes.
Thank you, Laurie.
Gee whiz, how about you?
Can I have your votes, please, Grant Bell? 3, 2 and 1 on the Cowboys 30.
Well, I think Laurie's already given you his vote.
Yeah.
I think he got his 3 points. But, interesting night to pick players. Scott Drinkwater, I thought, was pretty outstanding. I thought he found the game. He certainly created space, created opportunities, and he was the player most likely. I gave him 3 points. Murray Talangi, I just thought he did all the dirty meters. He did all the runs that you want your outside backs to do when you're coming out of the back part of the field. He ran 170-odd metres and made a bundle of tackles. He got 2 points for me. And Jaden Campbell is the player most likely for the Titans, was the player who I thought was the one who was going to threaten the Cowboys. He got my 1 point ahead of the likes of Taumalolo, Lukey, etc. So
3 to Drinkwater, 2 to Taulungi, and 1 to Campbell. That's Grant Bell's Player of the Year votes on the Cowboys' first win of the season. So they've got Melbourne here next Saturday night, and the Titans get to Robina. They play in this same time slot against St George Illawarra. Speaking of the Dragons, they were in action against Parramatta earlier today. If you missed it, well, here's the wrap from Andrew Moore and the team.
It was a really entertaining game of footy before a crowd of 25,573. Parramatta trailed 14 points to 6 early on after Luciano Leilua and Jaden Suar both scored tries for the Dragons, but they did fight back, and Talon De Silva, coming off the bench at dummy half, made the difference. He scored in the 35th minute and the 45th minute, and in the middle, Kitione Kautonga. At that 10-minute period either side of half-time ended up proving the difference. The Eels led 18-14 at the break, and soon after 24-14, they went on to win 30 points to 20. Luke Lewis, again, really fun game to watch. And a great win by Parramatta. Let's start with the Eels. They've now gone back-to-back against Brisbane and the Dragons.
Yeah, really good work there by the Parramatta Eels. It was a 7-minute mark almost again, where they come back into it. Last week happened against the Broncos. They did it again against the Dragons. They went in at halftime leading, and I think that gave them all the confidence in the world to come out and get the win. But the Dragons, it was all them in the first half. Just that last 7 minutes, they switched off, and then all of a sudden, Parramatta made them pay, and they just lost all their confidence. It was a good quality game of football. It was exciting, but Parramatta just way too good.
What is it about the Dragons, though, Louis? They just can't get over the line in really close games, because you often leave there thinking, gee, they're really competitive, they played well, they had their chances, and we're saying that again tonight, but no chocolates again.
No, definitely not. Look, they come up with, there was some, poor passes in really critical times. I think that they didn't execute. The other thing is for me with the Dragons is I've said it before, they just don't play eyes up football. They've got to play a little bit more outside the structure every now and then. They get to a certain point and they're set up to go right, but they'll always go right even if the numbers are wrong. So sometimes they've got to play and look up down the short side. There's only 1 or 2 down the short side. You've got 3 attackers. You've got to take that opportunity. They don't come around very often. I feel like they let them opportunities, missed 2 or 3 of them this afternoon.
All right, good job, Louis.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate. I know you'll be listening to NRL Monday tomorrow night between 6:30 and 7:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Michael Carianis, guest host. Injuries for Parramatta, 2Q. Knee injury for Jordan Samrani. Knee injury for Jermaine Hopgood. Neither returned in the second half. And ABC Player of the Year point 3 to Talon De Silva. The Eels backup hooker. 2 to Dragon setter Moses Sully as destructive. And 1 to Parramatta forward Sam Tuivati as the Eels beat the Dragons 30 points to 20.
Thank you, Andrew. And just confirmation following that wrap that Jermaine Hopgood is going to have to undergo a surgery for a ruptured anterior cruciate ligament. So that's most likely his season done. Now, the ladder, after 3 rounds of the 2026 Premiership, with, of course, some teams having only played the 2 games, here's how it looks. Warriors and Panthers on top, 3 wins each. Bulldogs 2 wins in third. Then the Storm, 2 wins, 1 loss, 4th. Tigers 1 win, 1 loss, 1 bye, 5th. Dolphins 6th. Souths 7th. Knights 8th. Eels 9th. All teams, Dolphins, Souths, Newcastle and Parramatta with 2 wins and 1 loss. And then the teams with 1 win and 2 losses in this order. Sharks 10th, Cowboys 11th, Broncos 12th, Raiders 13th, Roosters 14th, Manly without a win from 2 games in 15th, St George Illawarra and Gold Coast second last and last respectively, both with 0 and 3 records. And next week it all gets underway on Thursday across the ditch, at Brookvale for Manly Warringah against the Roosters, and then the Friday night double header starts across the ditch. Warriors v West Tigers before the big battle of Brisbane. Broncos Dolphins, that's got even juicier with both teams getting their first wins this weekend. Saturday's triple header, Canterbury v Newcastle at 3 Sydney, 2 Queensland time, then Penrith Para at Western Sydney Stadium, and then here North Queensland and Melbourne in the Saturday night game, and the doubleheader on Sunday, still the late start into the evening match. Canberra and Cronulla, 4 o'clock local there before Gold Coast play St George Illawarra. They're the games in round 4. Thank you, Belly. Always good to see you. I'll catch you again on... Oh, no, you won't be here Saturday night.
No,
Lachlan Coote's going to help out tomorrow, next Saturday.
Next Saturday, I'm away. I'm off for a little bit more surgery.
Okay, well, good luck. I know you've had too many trips in that regard, but...
Far too many.
Great to see you back at the footy, though. It's still valuable to have you here, mate, so it's great to see you. Thank you, Laurie, downstairs. We've had Brandon and Pete working on the faders today, and Lockie was here observing.
I think Lockie went down to observe Laurie.
Oh, in the second half, that's right, he did. Zane Bojack, thank you to you in the studio, and of course, thank you to you, our listeners, for your company, your input throughout the weekend's football. As you heard from Andrew there, MC guest host of NRL Monday tomorrow, and then we all get going again at Brookvale on Thursday night. So winners today, Parramatta and North Queensland. The Eels 30 points to 20 over the Dragons at Western Sydney Stadium. And here in Townsville, 3 votes to Drinkwater, 2 to Taulungi and 1 to Campbell as North Queensland defeated the Titans 30 points to 16. If you want some more sport, that AFL game's still going. 3/4 time, West Coast lead North Melbourne by 5 goals. You can get that on ABC Listen. Just look for the red and blue button. Second half in the A-League, by the way, Melbourne City 1, lead Perth Glory 0. But that's it from NRL Sunday on this particular round 3.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
De Silva goes right to a running Mitch Moses, links up out the back to Alungi, away to Semrani, steps straight past Kerr, got it away to Peasant, he links up with De Silva and he's able to score. Great try, Parramatta. Not great defence by the Dragons, but Parramatta do score against 12. And the tackle is made on Dury. Now comes left to Tioni Kautonga. Strolls through the defence to score. 1 minute 50 to go on the half, and Parramatta's in front. Parramatta 18, St George Illawarra 14. It comes to the left to Jack Williams, held on desperately by the defence, headed by Kerr and Leilua. Now De Silva. Burrows gets there, scores. Egg on face. They didn't need the 2, they get the 4. Right next to the post again. 5 gone second half. Parramatta St George Illawarra 14 with a kick to come. 4 out from the line. Plays the ball. Jacob Little on the field. Goes to his left. Ryan Catman to Flanagan. A perfect kick in goal. And diving on the ball is Moses Sully. They come to the right. Flanagan. Open side right to Ryan Couchman. Fends away from Barlaw. Got it on to Atkinson. Cut out pass. Now Holmes has dropped another one. Picked up by the Eldado car. He's away. Put the glasses down. Horsey says bye. Josh Haddo-Carr, the Fox, streaks away to score.
22 out blindside Drinkwater. Intercept. One-handed intercept from Jaden Campbell. He's got 80 metres to run. He'll beat you with a step and lead, and he'll pick your pocket as well. At this stadium, which needs the breeze today, Drinkwater, line break, over halfway, fullback in front of him, steps in. Has he got the gas? He's running out of juice. He's got the speed bubbles, but he gets there. Scott Drinkwater, a solo 60-metre scoop. Gives it back to Drinkwater, to Clifford. Little run around back to Drinkwater. Huge overlap on the left. Purdue's got it. Oh, he couldn't get in time. The defence shift. Rolls infield. Gets a pass to Clifford. And Clifford does go in to score. Dearden decides to kick for the in-goal area. He's got McIntyre chasing through. Kinney sees it dead, but the fans in Townsville are happy. It's the first time they've seen their boys in the flesh in 2026. And the first time North Queensland picks up a W for the season. The Cowboys have won. Gold Coast remain winless. Full time in Townsville. North Queensland 30. Defeat Gold Coast 16.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC.
Rumours, cults, secret identities, and one of Australia's most baffling unsolved mysteries.
Something wasn't right.
It's the latest season of the Expanse podcast. Search for Expanse, then add up 4 on ABC Listen.
ABC Sport Digital Radio. Your home of BBC Stumped.
LBW, first ball.
Tremendous catch, tumbling forward. From the BBC World Service, in association with